Yep.
Last session. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Weirdly, I think Busty might have saved you guys, but I'm not sure. All right. So, sorry for any sniffles. Coworker got me sick, unfortunately.
Hey.
You're not supposed to make out with your coworkers.
I mean, she was cute though.
She gave you
Yeah.
cooties.
Kids
You were
can't
warned
help
about
us.
this as children.
That'll
We're
be
warned
so
not to
fun.
make out with our coworkers as children.
No, girls give you cooties.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
The specifics came later.
Yeah.
I too am sick.
Okay. So, you guys have just had your little experience, I guess, with the dealer. However, he has left. You are now currently in the middle of a mostly destroyed area of the town. I moved everything up here just so I could count it easier. I will put bodies back or whatever if you need me to. I don't care.
Now we're good.
I'm gonna
And
go over to Bramnick's and Milay's body and like start cleaning him up.
okay, so there are 3 bodies on the ground. There's Bramnick, Milay, and one other human female.
Is there stuff in the houses? Like, are they like empty? No, I'm not talking about looting. I'm asking if they're like
Wow.
empty. If they're empty, like foundations, or if it actually is just like the people.
The timing and everything on that was so perfectly poor.
There's a reason
Yeah.
for it. I just need to know if there is.
So the ones with roofs on them may or may not have some stuff left in them. You guys haven't really explored the interiors of the houses.
I'm gonna go find shovels.
Okay, give me an investigation.
Not great.
Okay. You managed to find like one, and it's mostly broken.
Okay.
The spade part is like ripped apart for the most part. It looks like it was used as a bludgeoning weapon against maybe some of the undead, you kind of assume. Based on the bone that's sort of like half attached. But yeah, it's gonna be, I mean, if you want to try to use it, it's gonna be real slow.
I'm gonna take that to get and say, you know a way to fix this, right?
Yes.
If you had the other part, you didn't find any of the other parts that would fit onto it.
What are you trying to do?
Yeah, but
Also,
I can't make something from nothing. I need part of the materials.
What are you
And
trying to
at
do?
this point, I'm just doing a mix of mending and prestidigitation on Milay and Bramnick's bodies.
Okay.
I was gonna bury these 3.
Before we bury them, Nix wants to examine the bodies and just check to see if she can determine.
Do that. Dig holes.
Oh,
What?
that'll work.
So not good. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
As
Lucian,
many times
you
as
can
needed.
start digging holes. All right. What was that, Nix?
Just to look for like cause of death,
Mhm.
things of that sort, and she also wants to loot Bramnick.
Okay, so let's start with give me a medicine check.
Wow.
I'll assist because I'm helping clean up the bodies.
Okay, you can make that one with advantage. That'd be nice.
And you're no doctor.
Beyond at least on Bramnick, there are multiple lacerations. I mean, the most you can get is this guy, Bramnick was cut up pretty well. You're not sure exactly what killed him, and you don't know if it happened before or after he was dead. But yeah, I mean, the cut wounds are pretty obvious.
Okay.
Milay is a little bit different story. The bark is It looks rotted.
Where's her heart? Do you want me to roll for that?
Are you talking about the tree heart?
Yeah, her tree heart.
That's sitting on your ship.
That
Oh.
wasn't her. That was her mother.
Mm-hmm. But you can make me an investigation. I don't think that this would really be a medicine check.
Would be a nature check?
No, it's kind of an arcane being, too. I mean, there's some magic involved here, so let's just call it a straight investigation.
Alright. Ugh. That was almost good.
So you sort of turn her over onto her back and start looking around. You can see that there are multiple breaks where the bark itself has crumbled and fallen away. You kind of search around a little bit, and I mean everything. I mean, it looks like you remember that forest that you wouldn't remember this, but as a player, you would remember this. The forest you guys came upon, where you met Melee. It looks dead like that. Like the trees are, it is. Yeah, it looks like decomposing wood. But with kind of a dark angle to it, I guess, for lack of a better term.
So she's clearly beyond saving, like she's gone.
Depending on what you remember about dryads. But yeah, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, didn't we something when we first met her, something happened. I remember that. We like helped them, but I don't remember how we did. So it was something Bramnick did, I think. Anybody remember or know how to help this?
Do we?
I was not here for that, but maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there possible Dice might have heard something somewhere, sometime or other about this kind of like I don't know. A Dryad's heart seems like it could be used in some kind of ballad or poem, but that'll just be me.
Okay, give me a history check with disadvantage.
Okay.
It's the only way I think you would have heard of it. All right, an 8. Oof.
Still better, but you know.
Yeah. It's enough to recall that there was some poem, some epic poem of the the surface elves, the kind that you're not really allowed to talk about or be friends with, or at least you weren't growing up. But there was a poem about a dryad's heart. What about it? You don't really remember. You just remember that phrase coming up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably all you're going to be able to grab from an 8.
Fair enough. So I just kind of lean over and say, "So we need her heart, yes?"
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's what we did. Oh, I remember now.
What are you talking about?
Nyx will go ahead and try to, I don't know, guess dig into Millie's chest.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
No. That was some shit that Bramnick did.
Okay. So Nyx, as you reach down, you do manage to pull away a couple of the bits of bark before anybody else can get a chance to stop you. And as you do, you like it falls away like so much dried and crumbling wood and bark. You manage to pull open the sort of the pieces that covered up her across her sort of chest area, and as you do, you can see what looks like almost soil inside. At this point, stained dark, a dark like black color. And at that point, that's when all of you see this, and you can run in if that's what you want to do.
I'm already at the body. Like I'm hoping cleaning him up. So
Right.
Oh, the moment she sees like black dirt and stuff, she'll back away. It's not right.
Okay. Make me. It's called a perception check. Oh man.
Oof.
All right. You do notice a little bit of like a dark brown, just a tiny little bit underneath some of the black dirt, but that's about it. And that's when Gad sort of pulls you away from doing the crazy things that you're doing.
What are you doing?
Okay. If I was the dealer, I wouldn't just give things back without throwing in a little surprise in there. Just do me a favor and look at Mile. She looks fucked up, right? Go ahead, turn around, look.
The fact that you said turn around in your concerning statement was not exactly conducive to getting what you want, but
I'm not trying to get what I want. I'm just trying to save Mile. Look, that's all right.
Back off first.
I did.
Like, how far are you backed off?
Like several paces.
All right, cool. I'm gonna start ritual casting detect magic
Okay.
as I continue to clean. Like, just make sure bodies are as close to whole as possible.
Okay. Are you gonna try to rebuild what Nyx just did?
I mean, can I? Does Gad like know how to do that?
You can certainly try. Also, Ta, what are you doing at this point? I know you were looking for a shovel earlier, and sorry, you do have a shield.
Burying the lady. Oh no, because Tanaka
Yeah.
did the.
Okay. Yeah, about this time, Lucian, you managed to probably dig out one grave or so. This is all happening pretty quickly. So you start on the next one, I suppose, if that's what you're doing. Unless you want to just make a big pit sort of thing. It's really up to you, however you want to do this.
I'll do individual graves.
Okay. So you dig out one. Where are you going to put them? Just out of curiosity.
This area looks clear enough.
Why am I not seeing it? Okay. Okay, so down there. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Got it. So, yeah, I'll say you managed to dig out one after walking over there, kind of looking around, trying to find the right spot, and you started digging out one of them. You move on to the next one. Dice, what are you up to?
let's see. So they're taking care of that body, whereas I have proven that I have no expertise in this field of whatever the hell this is. I guess botany. So
Yeah, kind of a weird Fey version of botany, yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna just I guess I'll assist Ta in up and clear out the place and see if there's anything here.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything to the body just
Okay.
yet, but I am going to look at like where and like try to figure out why the fuck Nyx is acting all goddamn crazy with like this like basically what it looked like desecrating a body.
Make me a
Dice.
perception check.
Dice. I wasn't looting stuff. I was literally just looking for shovels.
Oh my god!
You have no idea. It just looks like the chest cavity is filled with black dirt.
Well, I'll help you look for shovels then.
Oh
Top.
yeah, we already got that sorted out.
Toss, something's wrong with Mile. This isn't right.
Hmm.
She should regrow, right?
I don't know anything about Dryad.
When we
I mean,
first found Mile,
her mother.
mom was dead. She
Yeah.
grew into a tree.
Yeah,
Mile
but didn't
has
Bramnick
died.
do something?
Yeah, he nurtured it and took care of it.
Okay. Well,
It's
I thought he
fucking
did something to
plant,
like
Ta.
start that.
Okay. Either way, this doesn't look right. Look at that dirt and shit inside of her chest. It's supposed to be dirt, not black shit. Like there's look.
I know nothing about plants.
And even if I did, which I'm not saying I do, and I definitely don't, would you really expect this collector person, from what little I've seen of him, to be anywhere near the type to let her live afterward.
Yeah, he's a sick bastard like that. I mean, think about this, okay? He wants us dead. He totally could have just done that right then and
He's
there.
not even particularly sick. He's just kind of an asshole.
If you want to see it that way, yeah, he's that too, absolutely. But I wouldn't just hand over gifts without giving a gift of my own in return. That's all I would say.
I would hardly call this a gift.
This was our friend.
I see. So you have their body to bury.
Yeah.
How very kind of him.
Well, it's at least some sort of honor we can give to them with the way that they've died, it seems. It was not pleasant.
Hmm.
But first, I need to go get my shit back, and she'll just turn around and start sifting through Bramnick's corpse.
I won't stop her there because we were there when she quote unquote died, and I know Bramnick took some of her stuff.
Okay. Make me an investigation. As you rip through all of Bramnick's shit.
While she's doing so, I'm going to keep...
Hey, we
I am
rolled
trying to
above a
assist if I
10.
can. While doing so, I'm going to mention that your moral fiber seems to switch from steel strong to silk strong in an instant. I'm just going to mention that. But I'm going to assist her while investigating.
Well, Tin Can over there isn't going to let me help my friend, so whatever. I'm going to at least get my shit back, so maybe I can, I don't know. No reason, I just want to get my shit back.
After 10 minutes with the ritual cast of Detect Magic, do I see anything on their bodies besides, like, their magical items that they
Okay.
might be carrying?
So, who are you starting with, I guess?
I mean, I could just sense it in 30-foot range, but I guess I'll start with Bramnick, then move on to melee, because I don't know what to do with her body yet, so I'm still doing Bramnick's body.
Okay. So, on Bramnick's body, you do see a faint glow from his belt. You also see, and it appears to have been, you would have seen this on his body. It's not that big of a deal. You also see an axe on him. The Drakenhide armor that he had been wearing is now so ripped up and torn as to essentially be, there's like a little bit of like residual magic on it, but it is essentially ruined. It has been ripped to pieces. Beyond that, nothing magical jumps out at you. But yeah, you do see 2 potions on his belt and the axe that he had.
Alright.
Next, as you're looking through, you find those 2 things. The potions and the axe, Razor's Edge. You also find a ruined herbalism kit, a not ruined poisoner's kit, a dagger, and an amulet.
Okay.
Seems to be what he had on him at the moment. 15, that's what you find.
All right. I guess Nyx will hold up the ruined. What was it?
Herbalism kit.
Herbalism kit. I guess she'll just hand this or raise her hand with this and say, "Does anybody know how to salvage shit from this and/or use it to help melee by any chance? Anybody?
It appears to be no.
Great. Okay.
Granted,
this is gonna
we
be my
might be
fault.
able to talk to the young druid friend back up the road.
All right. So
They
as you
deserve
guys
to be
are
buried
having
where their home
this,
was.
yeah, as you look over at Melee, you see two objects that are magical. You see one, a small, probably pea-sized magical essence. Not of hard to tell what exactly it is. But you also see something that almost looks like a snake or a long cord or a rope or something inside. It's made of individual pieces sort of linked together. Sort of like a super long chain.
Where does it lead?
It's just sort of coiled up.
I'm immediately like, I assume I'm already looking at her, but I'm immediately just like, kind of wave my arms to the side and then like kneel down a little bit closer to like get a better look at it.
Okay.
The chains, do they have any inscriptions on them? Or are they?
Well, it's not exactly a chain. It's more like, have you ever seen like a 4-piece staff?
Yep.
So it's kind of like that, but it doesn't connect. So you've got kind of one piece and like that. And another one like that.
Really? Drawing dicks on the map?
And there appears to be a blade at one end. That's what it looks like.
And where is this located on or in her body?
It appears to be in her chest, along with the tiny little pea size thing.
I'm gonna gingerly try to like disturb as little as possible, like reach into her chest and try to just touch
Dix is gonna run over there
The-
and kind of put her hand on you.
the
And
end of her.
say, you're not doing what I think you're gonna do.
There's something in her chest. It
No shit, Sherlock. What do you
doesn't
think
look
I'm
like
trying to-
it should be there. There is a sectioned staff with a blade in it. I could see it with my magic detection.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Okay.
manage to touch it without disturbing much of the material?
Yeah. So Nix, you're there. You're watching this. As Gad reaches out, he touches the exact same sort of brown thing that you saw peeking out from just within the dirt.
Is
But
that-
yes, you can touch part of it. Yes.
Is that what you saw? I'm gonna ask Nix.
Yeah. But part of what I saw, yeah.
As soon as I have contact with it, I'm gonna start casting Identify. It'll take a minute, but yeah, I'll burn a spell slot for that.
Okay, you're just gonna use the spell slot instead of the ritual.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you see anything else besides a weird thing?
There is a inkling of residual magic burrowed underneath this sectioned thing.
Okay. Nix wants to like try to rub off the black dirt shit on the top, like see if it's like a top layer or if it like the dirt goes deeper, like the dark dirt.
So as you sort of rub off the top layer, you see it goes down a little bit, and you can actually see. You notice it's probably this part here that you're looking at. As you look at it, though, there are some of the dirt closer in, off to the side. Seems to be more, a little more like, looks like fresh dirt, like nutrient filled dirt, but This black stuff seems to be closer to the skin level.
I would be very careful. Whatever residual magic that is non-necrotic in here is very weak.
Shit. Lucian, is there any like really good dirt over there that you're moving?
I don't know. Is there? Raven.
I don't know. What does your spell list look like? And also, is there good dirt? No, all this place is foul.
Oh, okay.
Like this entire place
All right.
is like fallow ground. It's nasty.
Okay. Well, I guess Talk, can you point out where the little thing is that you said? Like, where is it?
What?
What?
God.
I'm sorry, Gad. I'm so sorry. 3-letter words, man. So many of them here.
Gadta Nix, yeah. Dice.
Gadta, Nix, Dice.
Yep.
Yeah, what the fuck's Naka?
I know.
We're
yeah,
going with one syllable name, motherfucker.
We just
had to be
start
the
calling
odd
him
man out.
Loosh. Hey, Loosh.
Oh no.
No, to say Lou.
Oh.
Works better than Loosh.
Luke, I guess. I don't know.
I have fire resistance.
That would kill me. All right.
All right. So, yeah, I guess Nix will ask Gad where about this other small magical thing is.
It is somewhere
You can
right
point it.
underneath. Yeah, the what I assume to be.
It's a little bit behind, but a little bit to the left.
Okay. Can I discern whether or not the healthy dirt is around that area still?
It seems to be concentrated towards that area, yes.
where I'm pointing.
Kind of off to the towards that towards the small pea-sized thing that you saw.
Okay. Nix is gonna. I assume that she has like some sort of. You know what? Fuck it. She's gonna grab her pack, put it on the ground, and try to take very careful scoops of the really, really good dirt and just put it
Okay.
in her pack. Just try to. Like,
I will
pack
point
it.
out that there are some empty vials in Bramnick's stuff.
Oh,
that
and
was-
okay.
As part of the poisoner's kit, the herbalism kit, most of that stuff was ruined, but there's still like 2 or 3 empty vials.
I'm
Okay.
gonna stop her before she actually like digs in. This may or may not be cursed. If we disturb too much of it, it may end up destroying whatever is left.
So, as you say that, your identify spell works. For a second, you just get sort of sort of the feeling of a magical item for sure. And a somewhat powerful one. But then a second goes by and a voice speaks to you. I've not seen you before. Are you one of Bramnick's friends?
I owed him a life debt.
Interesting.
Now,
had you ever met Bramnick?
Yeah, when they rescued me
Then you
from
would-
the...
Right. So, you would know what this is. It is most certainly Sylvain. His whip. His sentient whip.
Oh yeah.
I keep track
Well,
of
that
shit, okay?
Dude, that bitch has a sass on his.
What?
So if we get all of our sentient weapons together and grab them at the same time, they'll have a
Voltron.
battle royal. Yeah, there you go.
I'm just gonna like mentally ask, what are you doing inside of the little dryad?
It was the only way to protect me. And the knowledge.
What is this remnant that's still left? That's not you.
That's what's left of Melee.
Can I make a check to determine whether or not I could pump a healing spell into her and try to help? To see if that
I mean,
would
you
help.
can just try it.
Yeah,
Into-
sure.
into
Okay.
Melee, I assume.
Yep. Since I'm actually technically touching her,
Okay, 15.
Now you get the good roll.
yeah. Hey, I didn't roll a
time
1
you
this
use it.
time. That's a fucking miracle.
As you do that, you notice two things. First, the magic around the small little, almost like pebble-sized entity flares for a second as it draws in the healing ability. Also, the dirt around the or it also seems to draw in nutrients from the dirt around it, almost like it was hungry.
Is there any visible sign that this is happening?
Nix.
Yeah, there's a slight glow, and then you actually watch as Mile's arm, both of her arms up to about the elbow, crumble into so much dust, basically.
Nix. Does the name Sylvain ring a bell?
Nyx rolls her eyes. Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah, you tried to be friends with Sylvain at one
Yep.
point.
Yeah.
I
Oh
forgot
yeah. I was
about
the
that.
first one to talk to that motherfucker, and he's a yeah. She whatever. Can
It.
Yeah, it's a weapon. But...
yeah. It's something Bremnik wielded.
Did you know it was a sentient weapon? And with the identifier, whatever, like, does it say it's cursed at all, or anything like that?
No.
All right.
But identify doesn't always necessarily point out curses. I will point that out.
Fair enough.
But no, it's not. It does not appear to be cursed.
I'm
as far as
going
you can
to
tell.
ask Sylvain, is it safe to pull you from Mile's chest without killing her?
All that's left of her is that tiny little seed. As long as you don't hurt it, there's not much. There's nothing. No damage can be done to her as long as you don't hit that.
I am going to carefully extricate. Oh, that's a fun word. Extricate Sylvain from Mile's chest and wrap it around my belt for now.
Okay, so as you do, you notice that where the blade was, there is still some magical essence where the blade once was, but it is broken. It has been essentially just smashed. So
You greedy sack of shit. Can you like
We
move
can
aside?
still save Mile.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Can you move aside now before I flay you alive?
Good luck with that. I'm gonna cast another third level cure wounds into Mile.
okay. More of the
Oh
dirt's
my God.
nutrients are pulled up as well. Okay.
These rolls.
Okay, so what are you guys doing here?
I'm digging holes.
All right, yeah, you managed to dig the other two holes at this point. Ta, you?
Oh, I was planning on filling in the hole, putting her in, and then filling it in.
All right. So
Also, I was thinking about it. I actually probably would know a little bit about plants because of my background. Not a lot, but just about like, oh,
A
hey,
little bit.
dark soil is probably nutrient rich, not evil like Dix was trying.
In this case, if you
Unless
got
it
the
is
chance to
actually
look
evil.
at it, This stuff looks like it's more like charcoal. It's been burned.
Oh, okay.
Most of the stuff, it's fallow soil. Almost like the clay. If you've ever seen black clay sand sort of
Mhm.
stuff,
Yeah.
that's closer to what it is.
Okay.
Anything like what I'm digging through?
Very similar to like what you're digging through. Yeah. All of this is a little bit more more like
Marsh.
red clay and sand and just grody marsh land sort of stuff. Ta, as you're working, I assume you and Dex are sort of moving Rose's body first, and then
Oh yeah, I was gonna
these
carry
two
her
are
on my
following
own.
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was doing that on my own.
As you do,
Dice
you
was in
know,
other houses.
you notice a scar that you remember on her left arm from growing up. You would recognize that as something that would be hard to get right if it were an illusion or anything weird like that, because I know you were worried about that before.
Right.
Meanwhile, as you're walking that her over, Dice, what are you working on? You muted, mate.
I have no stake in this matter and no emotional connection, so I'm searching the buildings.
Okay. Give me an investigation.
Aye, aye.
All right.
Boop. Nope.
Yeah, you do find a really, really shiny rock.
I'm going to make a little castle made of rocks and put that at the top.
Okay. So Dice is making rock castles while this is all going on.
I assume he's still half delirious from the blood loss.
I mean, that's a good point. All right. So, from there, though, back to Nyx and Gad. Yeah, so you know where the seed sort of thing is. Bramnik has been pilfered. All of his shit has been pilfered at this point. Ty, you could head back and probably pick him up.
Sure.
All right. And then you got Melee. So what are you guys doing with Melee?
All right. I guess Nix will try to, like, I don't know, just take like as big of a handful of the dirt around the where she believes the seed is, and
Mhm.
try to put it in like either like a burlap sack or something, fairly small, like a coin pouch or something, but can still
Okay.
hold dirt,
Okay.
and probably put like a string around the top so it doesn't kind of like come out easily.
Okay.
And
So
yeah,
you
just
grab Bramnik's old coin purse.
Okay.
And basically put everything in there. Tie it off and attach it to your belt.
Alrighty. One melee.
We'll see what happens.
Oh, and importantly, she'll make sure that the top is open and exposed to sunlight.
Okay.
That's about it.
As you do that, you do actually see the little seed. It's a vibrant green amongst all of the sort of black and brown and dead. You do see a small crack in it. Considering your previous nature, or sort of your lack of nature, sort of stuff. Next, you wouldn't necessarily know what that is, but it is somewhat cracked. And you sort of fill it in under some dirt, sort of the way it was, and put it in the pouch. Leave a little bit open so a little bit of light gets in, and yeah, good to go.
As I get back from putting Bramnik in, when I noticed that she's got the pouch there with the dirt and
You might see Nyx digging into Melee's chest at least.
okay. So I'm just gonna like walk up and say, was there a seed in there?
Yeah, there was a little one. It doesn't look like it's in good shape. But
So
right here.
does that mean he would have one too? I'm gonna point to like the dragon thing, or did that dissolve into ash or something? I forget.
I think it did.
No, it's also kind of in a very similar state to. It is now sort of literally crumbling apart, and throughout all this, as large branches and pieces sort of fall, like you hear cracks on the ground as essentially it's rotting away at a high speed.
Yeah, because wasn't he her dad too?
As far as I know, I mean, every druid that we've run across seems to be having this sort of property. I mean, Mile's mother could do it. Mile herself is clearly able to do this. So, yeah, that's a good call. Might want to check this guy and see if he's a seed and if it's corrupted or cursed or not.
We can bury Bramnik first.
I already put him in. Well, yeah, I already came back from putting him in the hole.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't like cover it up yet, but
Okay.
I'm just getting all three of them.
All right. So interesting. So what are you doing? Who's doing what?
I
I'm just
guess
trying to keep track of things.
If
If they're done with
Bramnik
Melee,
is,
I'm gonna take her.
Bramnik is
Okay.
taken care of, I'm gonna go like try to while detect magic still. How long does it last?
10 minutes.
I'm gonna hurry up over to
Yeah.
Grey Beach. Well, the crazy fucking dragon's body and see if I
Yeah.
can see the same type of magic.
So with the last few seconds of your detect magic, you do notice that there is some kind of magical essence roughly in the chest area of where the chest area was, which is now plowed into the ground with these large wings and rotting everything above it for the most part. But it was a magical essence that you saw. I'm gonna say you didn't really get a good look at it exactly, but it was bigger than the seed. What that means, take that as you will.
I wasn't able to catch much, but there's definitely something left in that dragon's body.
All right, let's fish it out.
Okay.
Let's be careful.
Well, yeah, that's generally the idea here. If Grey Beach has a seed and it's still okay, then yeah, we want to make sure that we don't mess with it and or the dirt around it.
Damn. Okay.
Lucian,
That takes 10 minutes.
are you able to use your magic to see if you can move any earth inside of Grey Beach here?
I have to go AFK for a second. I'm getting a phone call. But yeah, feel free to plan on how to do this, but I'll be back in just a second.
As long as it's Earth, I don't see why not.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because this is all ash around him, so yeah, might be able to do that and still keep the seed intact and check out the status of it.
So yeah, just like slowly peel away the layers until we find some brown. Something that's not dead. It's like peeling an onion. A giant undead dragon onion.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what we should do with it, and depending on what it is. I mean, if it's cursed or something, clearly we should just stomp it into a million pieces. But if Grey Beach is still alive in there, we can't take care of Grey Beach too. Like, that's might be a little bit too much for us. Maybe
Find
we should
some
give him back
decent
to the
soil,
druid.
bury him, see if he's
Can I keep him?
I don't know if we should keep Grey Beach. He's
No,
kind
I just mean like just keep the seed.
right.
Funsies.
I don't think you can do that.
Perhaps the Dragon
Well-
Ascendancy would be able to find a use for it.
Yeah, they have gardens there.
I mean, if I can't like, it's not going to sprout if it's not in the ground, is it?
Technically it is, but it's above ground.
If it's
I mean,
too
it
large,
could be
we have
maybe, You
would have
know,
some
having him
raw
around my
materials.
positive energy will make him not so evil when he hatches.
I
Well, he
could
wasn't evil
fabricate
before,
something.
actually.
No, Grey Beach was a very wise and powerful druid. He watched over all of the island that the Dragon Ascendancy once inhabited.
No, that's much more boring than the dragon. Yeah, you can have it.
Well, I think we should give it back to the druids and have them take care of it as they would be more fitted to it. I just don't know of any more druids we can give this to.
Are they all dead?
If
I
this
would
is
hope
what
not.
happened to the dragon, and whoever that person was could do this to that dragon, I imagine some less impressive mortals would not be able to do that much. Look at what he did to us without really having to lift a finger. Just controlling that dragon.
Yeah,
So what make a choice here? Are we going to destroy it or are we going to keep like a pet?
it depends
Keep-
on how the seed is.
Well, for now then, we keep it as a pet. There we go.
If it's
That
tainted
just
with
kind of
evil,
gives
we're
you a
not
look
keeping it as
like,
a pet.
are
I'm
you
just letting you
serious
know,
right now?
like, no.
This thing, like I'm like the remnants of the fucking 40-foot or 50-foot tall dragon, even in like undeath, as a
Yes,
pet.
you know, we're not going to appeal ourselves to it if we just keep bickering over it. So, and I go over
keep
to
it.
the. Where is the actual seed, by the way?
Don't
Is
know.
it just on the ground still, or?
It's inside the dragon thing that is now crumbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wade through dragon branches and pick up the seed.
It's in like a giant mound of like detritus. I don't know specifically. The magic didn't like show me where it was specifically because I didn't have enough time to pinpoint it. But it's like trying to find a tennis ball in a 4.5-foot tall pile of leaves.
Doesn't sound very hard.
Well,
But yeah, I'm gonna wade through dragon branches and pick up the seed.
okay.
You don't.
As you,
I'm going to stop you before you do because I don't want to like do the same thing with melee, except bigger and definitely much meaner.
What?
I will
dead.
roll against you for it. I don't want you running in there.
We have to be careful. If Grey Beach is still alive, we need to make sure that he stays alive by keeping dirt on the seed. I'm gonna take a wild guess on this. So if you just take the seed without the dirt, there's a good chance that he would die.
Okay.
At least in my head.
Cons to him dying.
Very powerful ally gone.
A lot of cons.
A lot.
Okay.
He's extremely powerful.
Cool. He also appears to be evil. Just pointing that out there.
We don't know
Oh.
if that'd be the case when he woke up. We could check. We could take it back to the Ascendancy, and then they can check to see if it's evil, and then we can destroy
Okay,
it.
but then we need the seed.
That's what I'm saying. We need to keep it.
So let me just go
We
grab
can't
it. then.
just take the seed. We need to make sure it doesn't like die on us by providing with some soil to cover it with and water as well.
Just
All right, fine.
Like-
I say, and I just grab a handful of dirt from the ground and then go into the branches.
all right.
Nick walks
So-
away. This is not my fault.
Make me an investigation check as you're sort of sifting through all this stuff.
My favorite check.
Yeah.
13.
All right. It's enough. As you are going, you notice a wriggling form as you're digging in with your hands as you have gone through a fair amount of the dirt. Eventually, you do come across what looks to be probably the size of like a softball, maybe a little bit bigger, seed in the center, sort of this dirt pile. But you also see grubs Same
Yeah.
kind that were burrowing into you guys from this sort of fleshy skeletons, burrowing into the seed. It's blackened. It's rotting the seed itself. But as you
see.
uncover it, it glows with a brilliant green light for a second, and the seed pouch that you're carrying, Nyx, glows for a second as well, and then it stops, and you can see what is likely a dozen or more grubs burrowing in, creating holes with their acid into the seed itself.
All right.
Well, never mind that one.
Yeah, go ahead and drop it.
I'm gonna see if I can. What would be good for this? I guess just me and my mage hand are gonna try and just pick grubs off of the seed and out of the seed, if possible.
Okay. So as you sort of make me a sleight of hand check to be able to catch on to these things and actually pull them out.
22.
All right.
Damn.
You managed to clear off sort of the outer layer of the grubs. You can definitely see some holes where some of them have burrowed deeper and your mage hand can't quite get to them.
Mhm.
It seems like the outer shell, what was sort of a vibrant green for melee, this is a dark brown, sort of a not dead exactly, but certainly sickly looking.
Right.
You can also see that underneath this, as you haven't really moved the seed much itself, there are roots beginning to sprout out of sort of blackish plant material.
I'll basically take a. Do we still have that shovel?
Yeah, I was gonna cast heat metal on the shovel and just grab it by the wood handle and just like destroy the grubs while the metal is still heated.
That sounds very dangerous.
Not like I'm not gonna smack the grubs with it. I'm just gonna like turn the spade over and just like burn them and then do that to each grub. Just kind of brush it off the seed.
So I feel like I need to do it this way. Make it a little bit easier to deal with. So
I'll
you guys
actually
would
click
know
on it
there's
and
like a
expand it.
seed, and then there's sort of like this outer shell. And this is where, and the grubs have sort of gone in this way. They're inside of this hardened, almost walnut-like shell. There are, you can't really see inside of it. There are holes though, sort of where I put the little lines. You can attempt to sort of like stab into it. The holes are about an inch across, if that. The shovel's bigger than that, but as you sort of place the shovel up against where the holes are, once in a while you'll hear sort of squeaks and dying sounds in general.
Yeah, I just shout back as we're doing this operation. Anybody a deep clean operation that can give this thing, or are we just stuck with manual?
It may be safer to do this by hand. For the scene, at least.
Wait a minute, you have regeneration. You can totally fix this after we're done. So
I just kind of give Dice a confused look. I have healing, yes, but I don't. I'm no druid. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to work with metal.
And dedicate the pants.
So there are also roots sort of extending out from underneath.
Right.
And they are the sort of blackened roots that I was talking about. There are, you managed to get a fair few. You're not sure, like, to get any more, you'd need to actually break open the shell to the seed itself.
That's not a good idea.
I don't think that's a good idea right now.
We kind of. I think letting the grubs get to the actual seed is a worse idea.
Yeah, I would like to destroy that before that grows any further.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see if I can grab Todd to help like crack it open gently.
Sure.
Question mark? Big question mark there.
Wow.
The way you phrase that, the gently seems like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Maybe just burn it.
There's holes in
No,
it
I
already.
think there's
We
still
might.
hope that we can revive him. It's just we need to be careful about this and not burn it. But yeah, let's see if we can. Well, we can use the burning shovel to try and take off the shell.
Look, I want to save Gray Beach too, maybe for a different reason, but I'm pretty sure roots aren't supposed to be black like that.
Plants can grow new roots. We can fix this. We just need to, actually fix this.
Nix looks over at Tom.
Would I know if the roots look natural?
Sickly is the nicest way I can put it.
Okay.
They definitely look they look a bit like the corrupted forest. Like his forest
Oh,
was at the time.
right. Which we healed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll just say that. It looks kind of like the forest was before when we met him. So maybe we could save him still. I mean, we could try, and then we can just kill it after.
Well, if this
Let's
is the
try to crack
case,
the shell open.
there should be a pillar or something of that sort. Giving
Well,
out
probably just a similar magic.
is also
I don't know.
true.
It just looks sickly.
It looks like it's dying. It needs nutrients.
Then let's help it, guys.
That's, yeah,
come on.
that's fine. Let's do it.
Is there any like decent dirt left in the area? Like in the area around the seed?
No.
All right, cool. Boy, that would be a great spell to have, but no druid, so all right. I'm going to use the. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna ask Todd to like see if we can crack the shell open so we can save the seed on the inside before the grubs get to it or get to it too much.
So you want to grab this thing that has grubs in it already?
And possibly
Yeah,
risk one
how about you
flying
do
out.
that? Yeah, how about you with no flesh do that? I've already had one of those in me. Kind of sucks.
Oh,
Just a little bit.
sure. I would like some help though.
Sure, I'll be right behind you.
And I'm gonna be right behind him.
I mean, I could like poke at the shell with my spear, but I'm not going to grab it with my hand.
That's fair. I would just like some assistance.
Here,
Fine, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, fine.
Nix gives Ta that axe that she got from Bramnik and say just put it on there and just apply pressure or something, right? Just split it with the axe.
Here you go, Ged. I don't. Whatever. Really. Yeah, I'll help him with like from behind him.
Oh wait, no. Here, Gad, you do it. Take the axe
Yeah.
and just split it.
Or wait, is Mage Hand still up? Let's. It's a minute. Maybe.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'm just gonna use the axe
Okay. Make me a strength check.
with the finish.
Sure. 16. Okay. So as you grab Razor's Edge here. Okay. As you swing down, sort of to try to find purchase and everything.
Oh, I'm not gonna swing. I'm just gonna like try to saw it in, so I don't like get too deep. Accident.
Okay. You managed to get in a little ways. Maybe a quarter inch. It seems like this thing's a little bit thicker than that.
Do I get the feeling how much thicker? Like,
You're maybe halfway there.
all right, cool. I'm gonna try to crank that motherfucker open.
Okay. Another strength check. Okay, so you managed to sort of pull it open and break apart part of the shell, but it's not what I would call open yet.
Cool. I'm going to try to shove the axe in just a little bit deeper to get better purchase.
Okay. All right, so you managed to sort of use that hole to sort of push in a little bit further. Give me. We're gonna call this a sleight of hand check.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay, that's respectable. That's okay.
So as you're pushing in, you feel it give, like the pressure, the hardness of the material changes a little bit, and you slide in just a little bit, but you manage to catch yourself pretty quickly. You're not sure exactly how much damage, if you've done any damage or what. Primarily because you can't see what's on the other side, but I mean the axe didn't slip through.
I'm going to hold the physical seed itself and just, if you would, just crank this open.
But wait, what? Crank what open?
Use the axe as like a wedge to crack the
He's basically asking you to
open.
crack it open like a coconut.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought when you said just the seed, I thought you like meant not the shell. Yeah, sure, I'll help.
All right, give me a strength check. All right, so you start sort of widening it out a little bit, not a huge amount, but you do manage to sort of spread the crack a little bit further, and you can kind of see now the axe had just barely sort of nicked the inner seed, but you at least you get the feeling of that. It's really hard to see in there though, with the axe in the way. Yeah, you also can start to hear sort of like a squelching nasty sound.
Again.
All right.
All right. So, for the purposes of this, I'll say you managed to pull it open a little bit further. You can now see the seed. The seed is a dark brown, with still like a little bit of green life left, but it's physically fading as you're looking at it.
I am going to grab it and pull it off and try to clean it off of any grubs. And as soon as I touch it, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at fucking goddamn 4th level.
Okay. As you and Ta sort of each take a side of the crack that you guys have created and pull it open, you can see there are 3 grubs that have made their way in there and are physically attaching themselves and starting to dig into the actual seed itself. Now, you've cast Cure Wounds. The grubs are now trying to dig in a little bit further. It does revitalize it a little bit. It seems to hold onto sort of flares of green for a second, and you can actually see the roots extend out trying to grab onto some kind of nutrients. Who's around the seed right now? Is that everybody,
everyone.
basically? Okay. But yeah, there are 3 grubs that are trying to dig their way in.
I am going to grab the seed, turn around, and start pinching and pulling the grubs off, like right behind the head.
Okay. I'll let you go for one of them at least. We'll start with that. Make me it'll be another sleight of hand check. This is trying to grab onto them as they are attempting to dig into the seed. Okay, you managed to grab onto one, and then 2, the seed almost falling out of your hand. You managed to pluck 2 of them off. There's still 1, and it is actually digging into the seed. It's about halfway in now.
Gonna see if I can
grab it.
Yeah, see if I can get it in the nick of time. Just
All right,
swoop in and pluck it out. It's 25.
Okay, so as it starts burrowing in, and it seems this is much easier than the actual shell of the seed. You reach in, grab it by the tail, and pull it out, and it's squirming. and sort of giving off this hideous, almost squeaking, squelching sound. But you manage to pull it out just in time.
I'm gonna
The shovel
overkill
is
this,
right
but
next
fuck
to
it.
us on the ground.
What I do is I hold it in my hand and just say, no. And then I fucking psychic blade it, and out it goes.
Okay. You do that. It turns into sashimi as you literally slice it in 10 different spots immediately, and it falls to pieces. Some of the pieces still wriggling from post-death sort of nerve impulses, but it is very, very dead.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna turn it back towards the group.
crisis averted. It's clean, and now it needs nutrients. But we can solve that, right?
Ta, with your mild background, you would know this much. Seeds typically have a protective shell while they try to sprout and everything. It also provides nutrients. This no longer has a protective shell. So it is very if it's like any other kind of seed, say like a walnut or whatever, it would be the elements would be a big concern.
Okay. So
So
yeah,
you
we need to keep it in a pouch or something for sure.
How does the original shell look? Does it like I'm just
Oh
gonna-
no, you guys tore that thing apart, and there are lots of little holes.
Good job, dudes.
Fabricate be able to be used to craft a new shell for it?
What's that?
Would fabricate be applicable to craft a new shell for it?
Make me, in this case, make me a nature check.
I guess I will
This is
assist.
pretty...
Unless somebody smarter also wants to assist.
I think
I think Lucian's the smartest one out of all of us.
he didn't ask anybody else, so
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
that's true.
Yeah, fair.
Oh god damn it!
Okay.
Now do you
As
want?
far as you know, looking
Probably
at the
not.
shell, like you could maybe make a shell, but like yeah, totally, it's gonna work.
I would like to pick up the remnants of the shell and examine them.
Okay.
Do
Make me
they still
investigation.
look? Do they still look healthy at all?
Not exactly healthy, and you managed to find one other grub in the shell still burrowing its way through.
I really hate those things.
I'm gonna go ahead and pluck
Like
that one
this.
off and like just
Okay.
squish it against, or use a shovel and just destroy it.
Okay. Managed to cut its head off with the sort of like quarter shovel.
And I guess what we can do is we could just, give it our own nutrients with magic and bullshit until we can find some actual soil. So let's do that very quickly. Again, we have the druid's place back there, which hopefully has some kind of valid soil, but and it would also be able to protect it. So
Let's bring it back to the druid. He will probably have a much better idea of how to take care of this than we do.
that as well. In the meantime, though, do we have anywhere secure we can put this?
I'm scared to put it in this pouch with like even just putting a single root in here with melee. It may really be a bad idea.
Fucking both of them.
Another pouch would probably be fine.
You'd need a big enough pouch.
You just give it to me, I say, and I will take it and I'll hold it in two hands and have a mage hand covering it.
Okay. So
Do the roots start burrowing into his skin?
Seed bearer dice.
We'll burrow into the mage hand.
How big is it actually?
It's the size of like a, now that you've pared it down, right? Sort of the shell is gone. It was the size of like a cantaloupe. Now it's probably the size of a large orange.
Okay, I'll just find like a sack in a house somewhere. Like
Okay.
a potato sack.
Yeah, easy enough to find some like old clothes or a burlap or something along those lines.
Are there any baskets or sacks with any rotting food inside?
Interesting question. Make me an investigation check for that one.
Yes.
Okay. You can see that you search through a few of the not quite destroyed houses. Most of the baskets of food you find have those grubs digging into them, just eating whatever. But you do manage to find one basket high on a shelf that they haven't seemed to get to yet, and it seems to have what was essentially sort of picnic food. It's probably a couple days old at this point.
How much is in there, like roughly?
I mean, enough for a picnic for like 2 people, maybe 3.
I'm going to pick out like
There's
a
some rotting
third?
food and some moldy bread.
I'm gonna pick out a third of the rotting food and like can't like try to hand it over to Nyx. Like try to use this for the seed, and then I'm going to.
I ain't touching that shit.
All right, give me the seed then.
Dice is the one with the seed, not Nyx.
No,
Yeah,
but for
I have-
melee, I'm gonna use the other 2/3 for Grey Beaches.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Nyx will just like kind of dig like a little hole in the dirt
Okay.
there, and just be like, put it in there. I ain't touching it.
All right, just try to hold the bag open as wide as you can. I'm gonna try to stuff a third of the food
Okay,
into the bag.
so you grab a little bit of a crust of bread, like half of a pretty sort of sickly sweet smelling orange that definitely has something growing on it, and you put that into the bag. Okay, interesting.
Nyx covers it with dirt and tries not to gag.
Okay, once it's covered with dirt, it's not so bad. But
Dice.
yeah,
Gad doesn't really have a face, but you get the sense he's smiling like from ear to ear right now. He walks over to you with the basket and just shoves the inside of the basket like onto your hands, so it's like in the middle of all the slush.
you're hit with like the almost sick, that sickly sweet stench of just rotting citrus and general food and stuff.
We'll keep the seed in here.
Okay.
Does Dice pull his hands out?
Yeah, I don't know if Dice is
Oh, I'm
there.
sorry. My bad.
Sorry, what exactly are you doing to this thing?
There is you said a picnic basket
Basically, yeah.
of rotting food. I've taken a third of the food out and given it to the small bag with the other seed in it, and I'm holding the other 2/3 of the food that's still inside the basket, like onto your hands.
Is that a good idea?
Well, I'm no botanist, but plants can feed off decomposing stuff, right?
Yeah, when it's in the ground and turned into soil.
Then wouldn't that be cannibalism? Technically.
Why?
Be better than
Plants eating
nothing.
Plants.
Plants eating the same species of plants, maybe. Because if you want to go with that, then animals eating animals is cannibalism as well.
Yes.
I do want to try to see if
Animal
Dice is really
evolution.
reluctant. I'm gonna see if I can like maneuver part of the basket towards like where the roots are and see if there's any reaction.
And I'll fucking stick the roots into the meat if you want, but
Well, there
I'll
isn't
take
really
it.
much in the way of meat. It seems to be mostly like fruits and bread and that sort of thing.
Oh, fair enough. I'll stick the thing in the basket then.
Okay.
I hand you the basket.
So it has one of those sort of like the tops, right? Like Little Red Riding Hood basket. That's what we're talking about here. So it's got like little flaps on either side, and you can put that down or whatever.
Yeah,
you want.
I put the flap close to me up, put it like stick the roots in the fruit, and just for good measure, I say everything's going to be fine. And fine is the
Okay.
word that I use.
Okay. As you do that, the roots reach out and seem to dig into some of the. As you sort of heal it, it seems to dig into some of the fruits and veggies and sort of breads and stuff. You're not sure if it's actually like drawing from it exactly, but it seems to have reached for them. Where that goes, who knows? And it'll probably take some time.
If we put dirt in there too, it'll help it compost.
Well, the
Well-
dirt around here is tainted.
Yes.
Okay, good point.
Okay.
How
I see.
far away is it to the druid's house from here?
About an hour or two's walk. Assuming
should-
you're not fighting anything this time.
So
We should
what?
we should probably finish burying Bramnik.
You did?
Well, no, they're all in the holes.
Oh, the dirt hasn't.
Very
They're
covered.
in the dirt, but the dirt has not been then put on top of them again. It's like halfway done.
Well, it's going to
Well,
take
Unless we
Lucian
want to
literally
bury,
less than 30 seconds to do that.
I
unless we
think
want to.
Dice and I should fly back to the druids because we really don't know how much longer Grey Beach has left. So really, we need to hustle and yeah, you guys can finish burying them and we'll meet back here. I guess I don't know. Where do you want to meet? Halfway or? Fuck it, we'll fly back. We'll be back. soon.
Well, the druids, because it's getting pretty late, isn't it?
Do we want to bury
Oh,
Bramnik
yeah,
here,
Fuck.
or the ground
Yeah,
is
so
fallow,
we could-
or where there's actually good soil, like with the druid?
Yeah, I
It
think
was
we should
more
go
your
back.
friend, so I'm not sure.
His house was in pretty good shape, right?
Yeah, it seemed like it was in decent shape. You did see like a small garden, and there was stuff actually growing in it.
We could probably go camp there for the night.
Yeah, it would be a safe place. I agree.
Oh, it's safer than this place.
So are we grabbing the bodies with us?
No, we're gonna bury the bodies. They're already in the ground.
Do you want me to cover them up? We'd like to say
Yeah, I
a few
suppose.
words over them. I don't know you guys' burial rituals.
Uh,
I'll say a few words, but really, I think this is more for Ta and Nyx.
well, Bramnik was a bit of a drunk. He always liked to gamble, and he was a bit of an asshole.
Until
was a
Melee
bit-
came along.
But yeah, and yeah, he did kind of put his neck out for us, and well, he was a good part of the company here, and I think we're all going to be a little bit less whole without him here. So I hope he is drinking lots of booze wherever he is.
And we'll do what we can to save Melee.
Oh yeah, of course. No, Melee is just as much important to this party as Bramnik is, and I'm sure Bramnik would want us to do that. The least we can do to honor him.
Okay.
Okay, I'll put the dirt back over.
Okay. So you slowly, using your cantrip, begin to mold earth around all. Well, yeah, all three of them technically.
5 cubic feet at a time.
Yeah, it's a little slow, but
I'm gonna offer a quick prayer up to Moradin.
mhm.
All Father, one of your wayward sons has returned to the earth. I did not know him long, but he was strong of heart, good of arm, to stay with as a friend. I ask that you help him guide his way back home, for although his body and soul may not be with us, his memory will be continued in the Nameless. We will remember the Druid as we remember the spear.
All right. With that, there is a as you finish your prayer, and as sort of the earth around the bodies sort of finally finishes, there's a flash of light, of white light, around where each of the bodies lays, and for a second it seems odd. Well, I mean, it seems odd anyway, but the once fallow ground turns to stone, each one a solid stone slab with, in Dwarvish, the names of each of the fallen, sort of laid in there. One for Bramnick, one for Rose, and a concrete slab, but no name for Melee.
I know that was you, but I'm very glad we didn't plant the tree here. Even still.
All right.
And Dice will begin walking over to Druid's house.
Okay.
I thank Moradin for his grace, and off we go.
All right. So as you all sort of make your way towards the Druid's house, yeah, let's go ahead and flip there. It's about an hour and a half's journey until you eventually see the house again. There, as you walk up, you do see some, like, it seems a little greener here. It seems untainted. You can kind of see where it's almost like a ring around the house that almost holds back the encroaching sort of messed with forest. However, on the door, there's a note. It's written in Gnomish. Does anybody here speak Gnomish?
Nix will cast fucking
Nope.
comprehend languages. 10-minute ritual.
Fucking gnomes.
I couldn't help it, man. Come on.
Wait, but he's a halfling, right?
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
written in Gnomish.
Just check.
That's more the fun part.
Yeah, she'll do the ritual and then she'll touch the paper.
Okay. It says, to the people who saved me earlier, thank you for saving me. I am on my way to that cave we spoke about. But if you need a place to crash, feel free to use my place. The key to the door is buried under the second from the left plant. However, please don't break my door. Message ends.
Well, that's it.
Why wouldn't you just
Good
leave the door
thing
unlocked if
we
you're going to
found-
notice them?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so he thanks us and he's over in the cave. He's letting us crash here and don't break anything, I guess.
Should we
And
just
then-
plant the seed here then? Just while he's away.
I would rather
send
take that to the
word
dragon.
him to ask for advice on how to properly situate the seed, but it seems like
In
there's
that
good
case, then
dirt
it's
here.
probably still better to leave the seed indoors.
Grab some dirt from out there and put it in something so we can then
Yeah, in the basket
the-
that you guys get.
I'm going
Yeah.
to use my shield and shovel up some dirt into the basket.
perfect.
So,
That-
Dice,
Or the shovel in the cart.
this picnic basket that you've been carrying around gets a lot heavier as Gad starts shoveling huge amounts of dirt into it.
Okay.
Not a lot, just
I'm
like
going-
just enough to like cover the top for like an inch.
Yeah, it's still a lot of dirt, man.
Yeah, tell you what, I'm gonna give you a nod, lift the picnic basket inside, put it on top of the table, and then just, if I can, with my dagger, just take the top of the basket off.
Okay. Yeah, you could do that, no problem.
There we go.
You now have a small mountain of dirt inside of a picnic basket with no top anymore. That works.
I'm going to shake the basket until the dirt settles.
Okay.
I'm sure that will at least keep him alive.
And we could pile more dirt on if we wanted to.
I think it's best just to keep him going for right now because really we don't know what state he's in.
True. If we come back and there's a tree with a dragon face on it, though, we're keeping it.
All right, fine.
Are we sleeping here for the night?
I feel like we should investigate that cave, but at the same time, I don't think I'll be able to survive another encounter with anything that might be dwelling in that cave.
Yeah, let's rest here for the night and see if our friend comes back. If he doesn't, we can go check the cave out in the morning.
I call the bedroom.
Nick's hairs at you.
Which seed?
Gray Beach.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you two can have a tizzy over the bedroom or whatever.
Is there a second bedroom?
There are, in fact, what appears to be on the second floor, 2 bedrooms, a sort of large study area with a couple of couches, sort of laid out, along with several books, all about how to grow plants for the most part. Seems like this guy was really and truly a druid in training. It didn't know his head from his
Probably,
ass.
read some of those so we can know how to take care of rabies.
And melee, possibly, but yeah.
Wherever Gad settles
Yeah,
down, I'll just drop some books in front of him.
Okay.
Read these during the night, won't you?
Sure. Give me an investigation check. Let's see what books you find. I'm just curious because this could
just finds me just a really trashy druid smut.
Oh no.
So you do find sort of like this incredibly dense textbook on farming. It covers various industrial, farming techniques, things like that. You find something about keeping houseplants. It seems to be sort of like a pamphlet sort of spiel. And yes, you totally find some halfling druid porn. Centered around some brutishly strong sort of dryad male version or something. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'm just gonna give him some editor's notes before I go to bed.
All right.
Because Dice is probably a much better writer. But yeah,
That's fair.
give Gad some books to look over during his not sleep, and then go to bed.
Okay. The rest of, also, who is taking? Are you guys setting up a watch or?
I can basically
I'll
kind
take
of
first.
watch the whole time, but I'll take last watch.
Okay.
I'll take first.
I already said to take first.
Oh, okay. Then fine. I'll take second.
Okay.
I'll go after.
Fucking owls and trances.
Second to last, then, in your case, because Gad took last.
Hooray, I get to sleep.
Okay. So, whoever's up first, go ahead and roll me perception really quickly. That way we can get through all this stuffs. I believe that's Ta.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, what was that? Investigation?
Perception,
Perception,
for
okay.
watch.
Hey, that's pretty normal.
Yep.
So Ta, as you're sort of looking through the pile of books that Gad had, you come across the halfling porn, and just out of some sort of curiosity, like, what the fuck is this, draws you in, and you end up reading
Beyond
it for a
morbid
while,
curiosity.
just more and more and more appalled at the terrible writing. It
Like,
looks, it's sort of like,
down and shit.
it's like slash fic on the internet, but it's worse somehow. And 2, just the really in-depth descriptions. I mean, you're still pretty young, so like maybe you haven't run into some of this. Who knows?
Is there a fire going
this?
in the fireplace right
There, no, there isn't.
You can start
but
one.
You could make one.
Yeah, at the end of my
I bet
watch,
there's one in the book that they talk about.
probably. At the end of my watch, I'm going to start a fire. Actually, no, during my watch, I'm going to start a fire with the.
With the book. Okay. At that point, you just can't get those vividly described but terrible storyline sort of bits out of your head, and your watch goes by uneventfully, but you know, it is what it is.
Ta's
Shut
seen
up every
some
once in a
shit.
while.
All right. But you go and you kick awake Lucian. I
Okay.
believe. All right. So Lucian, you're up. Go ahead. All right. Throughout the night, you notice that there seem to be a couple of birds outside. One raven and what looks like two small sort of finches of some kind. The raven is the odd one, and it sort of looks over towards you for a moment and then flies off. Nothing else eventful happens. Meanwhile, however, at this moment, Gad, you have a strange dream. It's pretty simple, but you're standing in front of a large forge. There is a figure behind it wreathed in a pale blue light. The furnace behind him burning with an angry red. He looks down to you. You would probably recognize this as sort of an avatar, at least, of Morden.
Do I have any of my gear with me?
You do. You seem to have all of your gear with you.
Alright, I'm gonna clutch my holy symbol tightly with my left hand and redouble my grip on my warhammer on my right.
Okay.
And take a D.
Okay. This large figure sort of bends down over the anvil in front of him and looks to you and says, "My child, you have been marked. Be careful where you go from here. The one I sealed away so long ago has seen you, and he will exact revenge if given the opportunity. Be careful. There is one other with you who has been marked in a similar way." The vision jumps for a second to almost a fragment of something, a version of, well, you can see the same figure, smaller than now anyway, or at least seemingly so. The perspective has changed, at least at eye level, with the same figure. And while still wreathed in that pale blue light, he appears to be building something, a large room made of some kind of almost faintly glowing metal. There's another figure cloaked in a black hood and cloak, who is taking a chisel and slowly putting it into the all along the wall in thousands and thousands and thousands of rows, arcane runes. Around the outside, there you can hear the wing beats of something large and flying, but you cannot see it. And as the perspective sort of shifts around, you can see a figure, again in a hooded cloak, bound, chained, and being carried by two winged angels, more dragged than carried, towards the door to this room. The vision fades. You wake up for your watch, I believe, because I think Nick's at last, or are you next, second to last?
Yeah, Nick's would be going before Gad.
Okay. Yeah. So this will happen sort of across those two watches. But yes, Nick's, you're up. Go ahead and roll me perception as Tanaka, or as Lucian kicks you awake. You find a couple of pages that Tom missed. And are in rapture at the beautiful writing. But
saucy.
you eventually find a few pages and begin scribbling down notes and expanding upon the fan fiction. But that takes your watch essentially, and you eventually realize, oh, it's time to wake up, Gad. You see him sort of moving a little bit, sort of. He's normally very. It's obvious when, even when he's powered down, so to speak, that he can still see you. And in this case, it doesn't seem that way. And you sort of tap him on the head to wake him up. And Gad, you come out of your vision, and it's your turn for watch.
Hey,
Right.
there's some reading material back there that's pretty good if you're interested.
Oh, I was quite interested in that farming manual that Dice picked up. I believe I'll take a look at that.
It's called Bioerotica or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's the title, so go ahead and check that one.
Before I go pick up the book, I'm gonna offer a quick prayer to Moradin. The forge will remain lit. We shall see what is being tempered. And then I'm gonna go try to grab the right book. Are these written in Common or Gnomish or what? Or like Dwarf? I can only read Dwarvish, Draconic, and Common.
So the textbook's written in Common. These two are both written in Common. There is the sort of houseplant gardening that seems to be written in Gnomish. So you see the textbook, but right next to it, it draws your eye for a second because the title page seems to have survived. Across the top, it says Jungle Love, but it's crossed out with a very, very thick stroke of the pen, and underneath is written Bioerotica in a very, very recognizable Nick's handwriting.
Oh wait, I fucking edited out and just like put shit in it. Fuck. Okay.
Is there still daylight out at all?
The day, well, the light of the morning, sort of pre-dawn light, is now starting to peek out through some of the trees.
I will grab a table, move it over to east to west. Shit. Okay. Wait, does the sun rise east to west on this world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it simple.
Can I move over here? Is that a window?
That is a window.
Cool. I'm gonna grab the rotting picnic basket and grab the bench and then move over next to the window so it's in a little bit of the sunlight when it's coming over, and just start reading whatever I can read. But I'm gonna take a look at whatever Nick's recommended first. Just like 2 or 3 pages, just to see what it's about.
Okay. You go through a couple of pages, and it's really obvious what was originally written and then what Nick's has edited in. And you gotta say, I mean, for only a couple of hours, like, the edits aren't that terrible, but it is essentially like slash fic. The whole thing, anyway. There's a scene in there about Ta and some sort of strange jungle plant. There's a little bit about Lucian and his ever burning love for houseplants. Yeah. But you put it down after a little while and get to work on the textbook itself. However,
very strange
your watch
rituals
goes by without issue until first thing in the morning you hear a raven's caw. That's about it. And that's when everybody will wake up. You guys all get a long rest, and we'll take a 5-minute break. This has already been quite interesting.
This is great.
All right, I'll be back in 5.
Busty, thank you for this gift. Or actually, technically, thank you, Ryman, for this gift. Alright, I'll be right back.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Well, this turned out to be interesting. From what I can see for that lock, the numbers are 6, 0, and 2, but I'm not sure exactly where they go because my brain's not working yet.
Hmm?
No, that can't be right. Fuck.
You were close.
I'm in the mood to make puzzles, not solve them.
Fair enough.
Like having all the answers already.
Anyone else want to give a crack at it?
Let me
what now?
guess. The 6 is wrong.
Yes.
Let's see. $102 or 402?
I got 042
Yeah, it's something like that.
because the one number correct in the right place is the
that's
2.
right.
One number correct in the wrong place is the 4. 2 correct in the wrong place, the 2 and the 0. The 0 has to be up front then, and the 2 has to be at the back, as said previously. Nothing is correct, nothing is correct. Then one number correct in the wrong place has to be the 0.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. The hardest part about that whole puzzle for me was deciding between 1 and 4, but I realized when the missing number had to be in the middle, that the second one invalidated the 1, which is phenomenal. It works your brain. It's kind of neat.
Yep. So just realized what I forgot to do. I'm tweaking.
I'm getting a message from the outside. Hold on, I'll be right back.
In that case, just gonna go and put on something more comfortable.
I'm back. Are we taking a break?
Apparently.
Oh, okay.
Raven said he's changing.
I'm back.
Oh, it's cold. I don't like cold.
I would prefer cold over hot.
I do too, but I still don't like cold.
Grab a blanket.
Yeah, when I'm done here, I'm almost thinking about going laying down under my down comforter and being like,
Nice.
I'm gonna just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna burrito myself. Down comforters are the shit.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Memory foam mattress toppers.
Those are nice too. Yeah, I need to get one for me.
Yep.
I was gonna do laundry, but then I saw somebody just started doing a shitload of laundry downstairs, and I'm like, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna do it tonight. Okay. Is that everybody? Thunder, are you back? Thunder's the weak link at the moment. That's okay.
Oh yeah. So do we make it through the night or?
Yeah. So you guys
Okay.
all get a long rest in.
Okay.
And you all wake up as who had the last watch? Gad.
It's 042, by the way. Also, I'm back. Hi.
All right. As Gad kind of hears a raven's caw outside, but that's about it.
All right. Nyx will take the knife that she's got from Bramnick and just put a little puncture hole at the bottom of the coin pouch and put some water in it.
Bottom of
just
the
like-
coin pouch?
At the bottom?
Or the side? I don't
Well,
You,
think.
the
you just
bottom-
open it up and pour water on top.
Well, doesn't the water need to filter out?
No, it'll evaporate eventually.
Alright, I need to pick my new spells.
All right. So, regardless, I'll say for the purposes, like you would know after. Well, you didn't read the books, but everybody else could tell you. Well, you only read one book. Let me rephrase that. You would know you can just pour water in, and it's kind of burlappy, so it'll filter out on its own anyway.
Okay.
Or the extraneous water will. So as you guys wake up, what do you want to do?
Nyx wants to grab one of those botany books that are in Gnomish or whatever they are in, just for hopefully to help melee down the road.
Okay. Well, there's one about keeping houseplants and one about industrial farming.
Houseplant.
Okay. It is so write down keeping houseplants book written in Gnomish. All right. So, what would y'all like to do? It's really up to you guys now.
I guess we just kind of wake up and do the whole breakfast bit if there's any food around to salvage. And...
I will use sending to send a message to the halfling druid to tell him we are currently at your house and how are you? How and where are you?
Okay. It takes a second. You send that out, and a second or two later, you hear, "Who? Oh, you guys. Okay. I'm fine at the cave, and please, yeah, don't break anything." Message ends.
The druid is still at the caves. He seems to be confused but fine.
You get the feeling it's the first time he's ever run into a sending spell.
So he's in the cave?
Yes.
He's at the cave.
Why don't you let him know about the seed, about Grey Beach, and hopefully he'll be okay with us like planting him somewhere or at least having him in the house. So maybe keep watching.
It might be more than 25
could-
words.
Go ask him, or we could just take the seed with us back to the Dragon Ascendancy. Oh, right. We still need to go to Emistral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of the
that's
reason we came out this direction.
we need to
Yeah.
focus on that task at hand. Yes. So I believe that we can at least have the druid hold on to Grey Beach's seed until we're
Why
done.
don't we
with-
just leave him a sticky note like he did with us?
Sure.
Any paper in the house?
There's
How far
some
away
burned
is it?
pieces of paper for sure, and some other pieces of paper that might or might not have some poorly written erotica on it.
Okay, well, along
How
with my
far
editor's
away?
notes, I'll.
Is that cave that we know?
You don't know.
I'm gonna
You-
burn this house down.
We don't know how far away. We were given a basic description.
Yeah. That it was off to the east somewhere.
Oh, cool.
Just tell the nice gnome that we're leaving a fallen druid with him and that we have to go because we do.
Wait, what?
I will need to burn a spell slot for that, but okay.
Or then
Or
just leave
are
him
we
a note.
gonna-
Leave him a note and let's go.
Are we leaving Grey Beach here?
Unless you
now.
want to carry him and potentially get him harmed. Like he doesn't have a hardened shell. He's very exposed.
I guess we can come back for him.
Exactly.
All right, fine.
Okay.
So,
So-
would you say he's exposed like the halflings in that book?
We're like the worst parents ever. We're just dropping our kids off at random daycares.
Hey, we're keeping the one that we've taken care of before. It's just we don't have enough to take care of another one. He's too big. This is
We're
what
a
I got.
mercs, not a fucking
Anyway.
nursery. This ain't
Yeah.
happening.
You need to push him out of the crib.
Yep.
It's time for him to grow up.
Get a job already, god
Yeah.
damn it.
You didn't pay rent. Here you go. I'm trading you off.
So, quick question. Depending on what
Yeah.
season is right now, what direction is the sun shining? Like right now, like throughout most of the.
The sun
Is it more
tracks
going
east to
this
west.
way, or is it shining this way?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I think he's trying to ask which way east is.
No.
it goes across this way. It is more in the north. Right now, it's starting to come into fall. Well, it's actually midway through fall right now.
Cool. I will plop down the basket with the grape peach in it right here.
Okay, on the chair. So you give him a chair to sit on.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a picnic basket filled with dirt in front of the chair, or on the chair. Okay.
Lift the lid up. Is like, we'll be back for you, Mr. Grey Beach Dragon.
Okay.
We should leave a note.
There are random pieces of paper.
I'll
Damn
leave
it.
a note basically saying that it is very, 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 very. Tell you what, I'll just put a page of varies and then take another page and say, important that you keep this seed alive and healthy.
So you managed to find two brainstorming pages of Nyx's from her earlier tirade through the book of strange bioerotica. And you sort of like try to scratch out as many of the random notes, but yes, you managed to leave the note sort of nailed to the door.
Wait, I have a better idea. I'm gonna take a small piece of the page that's not like a corner of it that's not like fucked, tear it off, and then cast mending on it for 10 minutes, and then you have a brand new blank piece of paper.
You do, actually. You then repeat the note on that and nail that to the door. Okay,
Yes.
so
That's that unforeseen mechanic finally comes into handy.
Mhm.
We have infinite paper. Oh my god, we have infinite paper.
Oh, if you can make infinite ink, I'll make things happen here.
Oh no. I don't think that's how that works in that case.
Yeah, unfortunately that is actually material and not like a tear. I can't tear ink.
I guess technically you can't.
Yeah.
All right,
right.
so guess we're going, right?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So headed to Emistral, or are you headed somewhere else? Like, what are you guys doing? This is up
Getting
to you
back
guys.
on track. Yeah, Amsterdam.
Okay. So you guys start your journey out southward. It's about a full day's walk there, and plus a little bit because it's about an hour north to this little hut. Let's go ahead and put yourselves in your marching order. South being the front.
Yeah, that
Alright.
looks good.
I mean, that
I mean,
works.
that's kind of
All right. In that case, all things considered, go ahead and Todd, give me a perception check.
Oh, great.
Put him in the front.
Yep.
I love your perception. It's so great. As you're going, you notice a few fallen trees and shit, but I mean, it's a fucked up forest. That's about as much as you got.
Were those trees fallen when we first arrived?
This is past where you were. We'll say you get back to Little Gate and a little bit further along. I mean, there are just trees that have sort of rotted and fallen over. But yeah, as you get, we'll say first half of the day is pretty uneventful. In this case, because you know what you're looking for, or would recognize this, Lucian, go ahead and make me a perception check as well.
Okay. Damn.
Okay. A little ways off, you do recognize a raven's sort of call, but you don't actually see it or anything like that. But you can hear it. And the rest of you can too, for the most part. Moving through, you can see what looks like a ridge of mountains up ahead. You would know from the map that just on the other edge is Imistral. Yeah, so there is a relatively small mountain range up ahead.
Once we're getting, like, are we close to Mistral?
You're maybe half a day away, if not less. Maybe 2 or 3 hours walk, I'd say.
Is
At this
there
point.
like a dip or like a valley at all, like in between any of this stuff that we can make the walk easier?
So up ahead, has anybody here ever been to Imistral?
I might have.
probably
I don't know.
It's a port city, right? So probably.
It is a port city.
Oh,
so
the port
Dice
city.
you might have.
I wouldn't be that.
Yeah, I probably would have traveled here.
Okay.
Maybe not for long, but yeah, just enough to
So
pop.
you can choose out of the two of you who wants to make a history check, and the other one can give advantage. Two of you.
Probably Nyx.
History, yeah, I think I got some points in it. Yes, I do.
Roll
Fuck.
again. Roll again.
And you have advantage.
Yep.
Oh, thank
okay.
God. Yeah, that's a port city, all right.
All right. So you know that there are two main roads, one sort of leading in from the north, or headed. If you're at the city, it would head out from the north towards the northwest, and one that goes towards the southwest. You would also, with a 21, remember. Thank God for the 21. That there is also a now dried up riverbed. That several of the less than reputable folks use to get in and out of the city. It's a little bit of it's not really a hard trek, so to speak, going into the city, but going out, it's a bit of a climb. But it is something that cuts through the mountains themselves and sort of allows it used to allow discreet access to and from the city.
I guess Nyx will point that out to everyone.
Yeah.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah. There are a fuck ton of ravens, are there?
No, not right now.
All right, cool.
Just the two that are stopping us.
Can we see the what?
You can see the mountain range, and you're kind of like in it now. Sort of, low
That was a what
foothills.
towards Lucian?
Oh.
2 ravens following us.
Is a joke.
Well, I mean, did you tell them about the one that you saw?
No.
Okay.
Well, I guess I just did.
It's fair.
Can we?
Can waving that night.
Yeah, I do recall hearing a raven when we all woke up this morning. Can we see the city from here?
No, there is kind of a mountain in the way. You can see there's a valley that's off to the side of where the city should be, but there's definitely like a mountain peak blocking your way to actually see it from here.
Next, does your way, the sneaky way into the city, have a good view of it?
Yeah, Nix, you would know that there is a point where you can kind of see down into the city. You can do the same thing from the roads as well, but yeah.
Yeah, there will be some sort of view.
Sounds like a good route then.
Okay.
Okay. So, Nix, I don't think you've ever, well, you might have used this once or twice, but it was kind of under different circumstances. So, with the description that Nix gives the rest of y'all, somebody roll survival to find it and see what happens.
If only we had evil giraffe right about now.
I could do it.
I'm not an
Really
agent.
good at it.
we go.
Okay, Ta.
Or a certain ranger.
Ta, without too much trouble, after maybe 30 minutes of searching, kind of looking for the right way, you do find the beginnings of what looks like a dried up sort of lake bed, which leads into a river that seems to go in the right direction.
All right. Well, it's his way.
All right. As you guys enter into the sort of craggly bits and pieces where this river has scooped out or had scooped out plenty of earth and worn away at the stone. A little ways in, preserving the marching order then?
Sure.
Okay. You know what? Let's do everybody give me a perception check.
Okay.
Easy.
Amazing.
All right. Jesus. Okay. Dice, Gad, and Nix all hear the sounds of of metal on metal and metal on stone up ahead. It sounds like combat. Not too far ahead. You're kind of around, like it seems to be coming from around a curve. You're not sure how far ahead exactly, but it seems close enough that you can hear it for sure.
Do you guys hear that?
Nope.
Wait.
Maybe if you took your helmet off, you'd be able to hear better. There's
that's not
something's
happening.
fighting
Probably.
ahead.
Yeah, there's something going on up ahead. I think we should get off the main path here and just kind of walk around and see if we can silently.
To danger, I say as I leap forward.
Do it. Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm gonna
I wanted
push
to go
up.
fight too.
Okay, so Dice starts running down the riverbed, apparently.
Can we see what it is or just hear him?
You can just hear him. It's around a corner. So the river itself winds a lot. All right.
I'll go.
So Dice and Ta start running down the riverbed. The rest of you?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Nix will
Take
walk
my time.
after that, just shaking her head,
Okay.
just like thinking how fucking stupid half of her group is.
This
and
walk was
just
boring.
overthinking things, I think.
Okay, you come around the corner, and while you don't see the combat right away, you do see what looks like up on a rock that's maybe 5 feet up. You can see what looks like a broken apart skeleton of the mage type, as far as you can tell. It's unmoving on the rock. Looks like most of the bones have been cracked and broken.
All right.
up
I
ahead.
mentioned Ta, my partner in crime, that it looks like the skeleton's gotten this far. Let's see if they've managed to bother anyone else over here.
Okay,
and-
well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and drag you guys over here. Scroll all the way to the bottom.
Oh
But,
my god.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's a big map.
And go ahead and place yourselves as you would like to be placed or where you think you are. And it's kind of the riverbed you guys are running in.
Can't control my token again.
I'll fix that. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't know why that keeps happening to you.
I don't know either.
Got it.
Thank you.
Clearly, Dice and Ta go up to this corpse and start poking it.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I'm not climbing rocks in this fucking suit.
Well, I
I'll
can
stay down
climb
here.
the rocks.
But you're super
I'm gonna do
strong and athletic. You could totally do
Yeah.
it.
No, I could probably get up there, but I would prefer not to.
But the high ground.
Technically, it's a good advantage, but I don't give a shit right now.
It's a better advantage for the ranged guy, so I'm going to stay up here.
All right.
I got a nice choke point down here.
Dice, from there, you can see up ahead what looks like two more skeleton corpses, I guess? Like corpses, right? Two more broken
Inactive
apart
skeletons.
Yes, that's the one. Definitely broken apart. One with a shield and one with a large warhammer. And you can hear from just up this way the sounds of combat growing louder.
All right. Yeah, I get to the edge of the cliff face, signal down to my companions that we should move on out, and then just kind of hop, skip, and a jump.
Oh, we're missing out on all the fun.
Hero Jenkins.
All right.
God damn, what is that? Why does that keep happening?
The rest of you, what are you doing?
Probably still walking.
For atmosphere. Do that one. Why not? We'll see. All right. So you get up there. Ta, you can see you and Dice, as you two are the closest, you can both see what looks like a skeleton. Pockmarked with arrows and all sorts of stuff, wielding a large greatsword, a blue glow coming from it, sort of emanating, as it sort of sweeps its arm back to ready itself for another attack.
How far away is it?
Not very. You can also see it appears to be fighting other skeletons.
Oh,
Interesting.
Please tell me you let us all know.
But I'll say, look, skeletons, and then keep running.
Dice will be more
walks
articulate and
lower.
say, "Yeah, looks like we have some infighting, folks." I'm just gonna scramble up here. If that's possible.
Which one is the one that's... I'm assuming the one straight ahead of us that's
Yeah,
fighting
that's the one
against
that
the other.
seems to be fighting. He doesn't seem to notice you. And you see as he runs over this way, takes a single swing at this guy, and it literally just falls into a pile of bones.
I'm actually going to
With
stop
that-
right here and just like watch and start making popcorn.
Okay. Rest of you guys, moving up.
Yeah.
All right.
For
So with
whatever
that-
reason, whenever I try to drag my token up, it's like fucking dragging my goddamn scroll bar the entire time. It's so annoying. Could somebody move me up like 25 feet?
Here we go. I think I got you. Up here.
A little bit further.
And you should be able to move your token now. It changed off of your name.
No, it wasn't that. It was the whenever I click and drag with any of my mouse buttons, it's Oh, there we go. What the fuck?
Yeah,
So we
it
probably
should be
ask
fine.
for some assistance getting up here.
Okay.
But yeah, it should be up here.
Okay. At this point, you see. All right. With that, let me go ahead and do this. You see another skeleton sort of run in. It's 60 feet. Hold on. Just trying to do some behind the scenes stuff. This one will move up. That one will move up. Okay, so you sort of see them all try to surround it. Okay. With that, I think I'm just gonna do this for if you just decide to jump in. That way it's easy. But you see this central skeleton raise this great sword over its head and swing wildly over at this one. And that'll hit, and that will destroy. And manage to break it apart as well.
It is actually a skeleton, right? It's not just like a suit of armor.
It is certainly a skeleton. Like
Okay.
it seems to be. It's a bunch of moving bones, but it does not seem to be liking the other moving bones.
While he's making that attack, I'm going to intend to Ta to keep the one with the glowing sword alive, at least until last.
Oh, I was okay. I was just gonna stand here and watch them kill each other. But sure.
I was going to intervene, but
No, all right. And then I'm just gonna like shrug forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Minion, yes.
As you do that, you see this skeleton sort of look over at you for a moment. Before he looks to swing at, the closer ones. But let's go ahead and in that case, just so that it's easier to keep track of everything, keep everything in initiative order. Just because it makes my life way fucking easier.
Hmm.
All right, that everybody?
Wow. Wow.
Not bad.
Wow, that hasn't happened in over a year.
Sadly, that's true.
All right, is everyone in? Who wants to be in? Looks like it.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, over here for the moment.
Holy shit.
Nice.
I can't remember
Okay.
last time I got an initiative over 16.
All right, Dice, you're up on the list.
All right. I'm just going to let's see. Well, we're gonna go with a vicious mockery on the guy with the great hammer.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll open the fight with some banter. That doesn't work.
That's what the fuck language is that?
That's one of the things I haven't switched over because a lot of these
Start speaking in Abyssal.
Yeah.
He starts speaking in like binary,
Yeah.
like the really old school Pokemon games.
17. Oh, this is not going to go well for him. Okay.
It's only a 3 psychic damage, but also gives advantage on attacks in his next attack.
He makes it.
Wow.
Somehow. With the -1 mod, he had to, yeah,
Wow.
okay. All right, so you spit words at him, whatever you say, and he doesn't seem to be paying any attention. All right, anything else?
I'm gonna give inspiration to both. Well, not him yet, but I'll give inspiration to Ta.
Okay. Ta, you have a D8 or a D10?
D8, 10, I think.
Okay.
Checks or attacks? Or both?
Attack
Anything.
rolls or saving throws or ability checks.
Oh, okay.
Anything but damage.
Yep.
Anything but damage.
And I can roll that after
Yes,
make a
after
roll?
the-
After you make your initial roll, but before I tell you what the result is.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yep. All right. Gadriel, you are up.
All right. I'm going to cast Firebolt
Okay.
at that one.
That one. All right.
Let me just double check. All right.
Oh yeah, it's well within the range.
Oh no, I just want to see if I could see him, like,
Oh yeah.
because it looked a little janky. Poof.
That'll hit. Jesus Christ. Okay. That'll nearly kill. You see as the flames burst across the chest, ripping apart a lot of the, bits and pieces of it, burning off some toes, and like you can see several of the bones just crack.
Yes. And I'm gonna move up 15 feet.
Okay. All right, that brings us to the skeleton soldier, and he is going to swing at the other skeleton. So let's see. That does not hit. You see, this great sword somehow interpose itself between its wielder and the skeleton there, in plenty of time, and turn the blow away. All right, Lucian, you're up.
I'm gonna, I'll move up here and cast this.
Okay.
On this one.
Okay. That is a wisdom. Yes,
Yes.
wisdom save.
17.
What the fuck? How
Oh,
am I rolling
wow.
19s on these guys? Does not seem to take effect. You tell some terrible joke, and the skeleton just sort of looks at you quizzically for a second, and then goes back to trying to beat on the other skeleton. Okay, brings us to Ta.
All right, I'm gonna run up here and use my bonus action to extend my spear's reach by 5 feet, so I can
Okay.
now reach both of the enemies on. And I'm
Yep.
gonna stab at the left one first.
Okay.
The
Dead.
23. Okay, cool. And then
You take the already brittle bones from Gad's heat blast firebolt, and just sort of, you basically just poke him in the chest, and you just watch the whole thing crumble and fall to the ground.
Sweet. Now I'll stab the
Warhammer
one.
landing on the skull and crushing that as well, because that's more fun.
Yeah, and then I'll stab the one above me too, north of me.
Okay. That will hit.
29.
All right. You
And
managed to break off its left arm.
Okay. I'm gonna
shoulder.
use the inspiration for that one, I guess. Just
The 15 actually does hit.
Oh, does it?
Did
I guess that's good
clear
barely.
the-
And that actually, you managed to hit the other side. It sort of staggers back, and you quickly whip out the back end of the spear, just sort of colliding with the side of its hip, and it falls.
yeah,
As well.
perfect. In the background, there's the mountain king going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay. I guess that's my turn. I face the skeleton with the glowing sword.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. And that brings us to Nyx.
Next we'll look at the skeleton and say in common, stand down and see if it listens.
Okay. It does not seem to understand you.
Okay, she will speak in shit.
That's a language.
In some places. Shit. I guess she'll cast comprehend language and just see if he tries to speak back.
Okay. All right. In that case, brings us here. Okay. All right. So, Taj, you're the closest. You can see the blade is carrying emits this soft blue, sort of deep blue glow, very faintly. It flares for a second, and you can see along the blade are several runes. Not necessarily, they don't look arcane in nature. You have some training in that, right?
Right.
But they seem to be some kind of like more pictographic representation type runes, almost like hieroglyphs, but not of any language you necessarily recognize at the moment.
Okay.
And you don't really get a good look at them. You just see that they're there. The blade itself flashes as the skeleton then turns towards you. Okay. He is going to burn. I believe that's correct. Let me double check my work, because that's always important. And it'll be. Yep. Okay. So you see the sword itself pulse for a second. And you almost see like a couple of the bones on his left hand break. He then you're close enough, you can almost hear it. He swings the sword back behind him for a second, sort of in an overhead strike fashion. And you can almost hear like this sort of whistling song almost emanate from the blade. And then he disappears. Only for an instant. And so this will be on. There are 5 of you. He can hit 5 of you. He's gonna hit all 5 of you.
What?
So, the order is Ta,
I'm assuming
Dice.
still when you.
Yep. Ta, Dice, Gad, Lucian, Nyx. That's the order.
Can you see
So
Nyx?
Ta, 14.
Nope.
You will be able to see Nyx as soon as he hits Dice.
Oh.
All right. This should work. Oh wow. So that's on Dice. This is on Gad.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck you.
We have fun
Shield.
Okay. Does that fix it?
Yeah, I'm not hit.
Okay.
Shield puts me at 27.
Okay. Lucian, 19.
I'm gonna use Arcane Deflection.
Okay.
So it meets.
On AC, if it meets, it makes, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's still gonna hit.
Okay.
All right. So that's 36 force damage.
Ooh.
And then Nyx. Oh fuck.
Motherfucker, he's getting hellish rebuked. I'm not fucking that.
All right. So that's 40 force damage.
Oh my god.
Okay, and so and then okay. And he will appear here next to you next because you were the last one struck.
Wait.
As I block the hit, I'm going to go. I called it to the sword.
All right.
Well, we'll draw straws, okay?
I love the fact
Dex
that
18 dex. Okay, let's see if you do. Okay. 30 and all right, so 31.
fucking shielding out of spite.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I do that all the time. You're kidding.
Um
I'm like, I guess I'll let that one go through.
Nyx, as your hellish rebuke comes back, you see the blade sort of glow. You and Dice are the only ones to be able to really see this because of his position. And you too can see the runes on it, although you don't have nearly enough time to actually make out what they mean. Or even really how many there are, but you do see them on the blade. The blade itself flashes a deep purple. And you see the skeleton fall down to his knees, essentially, and while still gripping the blade in one hand, begins attempting to crawl away from you. He is going to start kind of like doing that. sort of number running away from you. It looks like you can't really read facial expressions on a skull exactly, but you still get the feeling he's terrified.
Oh God, good. She's gonna take advantage of that. Yeah, she'll because he's crawling, so he's not really going that fast, right?
Yes, but it's the top of the round, and you
Okay.
used your action to use.
Okay, movement.
So top of the round, I'm going to go ahead and add in that.
Neat.
And go to descending. There we go. All right. So dice, you're up.
I'm gonna run down here. I'm gonna hold person, motherfucker.
Okay.
That's DC 17 against that.
Wisdom.
Yep.
Okay.
I imagine he's pretty good at that, but
Nope.
okay, never mind.
You managed to hold him down in a position. He's like crawling, like he's got one hand out, the other one is holding onto the blade sort of backwards, and he's like halfway through, like a crawl,
And
like reaching out to.
If I can, I just want to kick the blade out of his hand.
You attempt to, but he holds strong to the blade. Blade does not.
Somebody get me a proba. Also, I'm going to give inspiration to Gad and Nyx.
Okay. That brings us to Gad.
Ha ha!
It's you got to climb here.
Yep.
Do we need to climb there?
Yep. So it'll just be in athletics to get up the hill. It's not very high.
How high is that? Yeah. Okay.
It's like
ledge?
7 feet maybe at that point.
Will it cost me extra movement because I'm like 6'10"?
Depends on how well you roll.
Cool.
Okay. You managed to get up there, no problem. You
All right.
kind of just do the grab onto the sides, find good purchase for your hands, and haul yourself up.
I'm
Doesn't
gonna
cost you
use
extra
my
movement.
last 5 feet of movement,
Okay.
and then I'm
no.
going to. Well, it's magic, so this will probably be fine.
Heat metal. Okay.
Is that his armor or the sword?
His armor.
Okay.
Okay.
He is literally bones.
So this kind of pathetic skeleton at this point, who's been trying to crawl away from you, you see the armor heat up, the bones become brittle and then break as he falls to pieces, his sword laying there, in the ground, but he has essentially crumbled to dust. The sort of in the semi-wet ground around him, you see like streams of steam as the water touches, or the moisture in the soil touches the armor and evaporates quickly.
Never mind.
Yeah, the sword is certainly on the ground at this point, so I'll go ahead and set him here.
Does combat seem to be over?
There seems you can hear actually where you're at. You can see up ahead. You can hear a few more skeletons of the regular variety, kind of on their way.
I'm gonna run back to the sword.
Okay.
Nope,
well,
stop,
hold on.
stop.
We're in initiative order still.
Oh, are
so-
we? Dang it.
Yeah.
that's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, that's why I said that there were a few more up ahead.
Oh, fine.
So 45, 55, I can get to there.
Oh, good.
And he can't do anything because he just dashed.
Then I'll just yell back. I still call dibs.
All right. and
That's
then
fine, but we don't know what it is. I'm gonna yell back.
The mage.
What
moves
has
up.
that ever stopped us before?
The mage is gonna look at you, target right here, and use shatter.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
DC 12 con save. Oh,
Oh,
counterspelled.
alright,
Never mind.
nice.
Okay, so never mind. It gets counterspelled by Lucian. The mage looks over at you, but can't do anything. All right, Lucian, you're up.
Should I? Nah, I won't.
Magic
On the
missile
mage.
on the mage. Okay. That will do 10 damage. While the mage is not dead, you do manage to impact around the chest area and then along one leg, and you can definitely you see cracks forming immediately from the multiple small impacts of magic missile. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Ty, you're up.
Okay. I'm just gonna stab the dude in front of
Okay.
him. There's 1,
That will hit. That'll hurt.
2.
That'll hit. That'll kill.
All right. And then
Yeah, you managed to basically stick your spear into his rib cage, sort of swirl it around like you're stirring pasta, and literally just break him apart.
Sweet. And then I'm just gonna run through the cloud of bones and then
Okay.
go.
My sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab this one too.
All right. Okay, that hits. It doesn't quite kill. You actually managed to knock off its left arm and left leg, but it's basically on one leg hopping with the spell book in the other hand.
Wait, I can do this after the fact, right? I can do a once a day. I can do a divine smite.
Yes, you're allowed to do that. Yep. You're just gonna add the
3d8 damage.
Jesus Christ. Minimum damage would kill.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean he had 2 HP left.
He used
So you
my
do that,
fucking.
he's bouncing around. Your spear is now kind of in right around where his stomach would have been, and then a surge of radiant energy goes in, and he explodes into dust around you. The spell book literally immolating in the air, sort of creating this beautiful dance of sparks and bone dust.
Imagine it's getting
Alright.
serenaded with rice getting tossed at you.
I don't have time for you guys right now.
I got other problems.
Daddy needs new shiny.
Get the fuck out of my way.
Basically.
All right. I think that brings us to Nyx.
Hooray! So is Nyx able to see?
Yeah, you
who's
can
back here?
just see him. You can see Ta. You can see him around the
Okay.
corner, kind of. Plus, you're up higher than this.
Right.
Is.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Okay.
All right, that will just hit, and well, it doesn't kill. It certainly does damage. You can see it explodes sort of across his head and shoulder, and the bones there become brittle from the heat.
Okay. Cool. That's it.
Okay. Brings us to his turn. You can see he's not really hurt already, other than the impact, but he's going to run up to Utah. He's going to try to bring his hammer down on you twice. 21?
Nope, just short.
20.
Nope.
You managed to bat away his hammer both times like it was nothing. And he's dead. Dice, you're up.
Okay, so Tuck called the sword, right?
Apparently.
I called dibs. The power of dibs compels you.
Indeed.
Well, the thing is, it's a thing in another campaign too.
All right.
Oh, is
I'm
it?
gonna
Yeah. Dibs is a thing on the Tuesday games, man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're really great.
I'm gonna grab the sword, and then turn to Gad and say, should we get back to the front?
Guess it's up to Gad.
The basic idea is I have the sword in my left hand, Gad in my right hand. I'm gonna move up here, and I'm gonna just door us.
Okay.
Here.
That's fine. I'll put him up there. I think he might have stepped away or something.
He's here.
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So Ta, do you see the familiar sort of doorway float sideways, and it reveals Dice and Gad, and in Dice's left hand, the hand closest to you, is the sword.
Oh,
Happy
hi.
birthday.
I mean, there's still one right here, but
Welcome. I'll work on that later.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll take it.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can take it on your turn.
Okay,
If you
that's
want
what I
to.
was assuming, which is why I
It would
was
be
confused
an
about.
action to pick it up, basically from dice. But
Yeah,
yes.
that's fine.
Gad, you are up.
God damn it. I'm going to pry the fucking sword out of his hand after moving up here, and then cast Identify on it. No! Stop
next to the
touching
enemy.
magical things you don't understand!
I understand it perfectly well.
I
It's a sword and it
need-
hit things.
I need in this
Wait,
case,
whose hand is it in right now?
I need a
Mine.
grapple check from you, Kai.
Oh,
So
God.
athletics versus either acrobatics or athletics of your own dice to get away.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
You reach out for the sword to grab onto it. You manage to hold on to the hilt, but dice sort of swings it out the hilt just out of your hand as you close around it. Unfortunately.
I just kind of flip it up and say, you could just ask for it.
Okay. Is that it then? Good.
Oh, that was my attack action, so I...
Yep. You have a bonus action, but that's about it.
I'm gonna move
Also-
another 5 feet, just like behind this asshole, and then I don't know. Nobody's hurt, really, that I could see.
Nope.
So yeah, that's
Well, I don't know. You might be able to see Nyx, who took like a ton of force damage.
Yeah. Lucian, you're up.
it. Can I see her?
Yeah, you can see her.
Cool. I'll bonus action
Uh,
healing word her.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
There it is. There it is.
Next, you regain 7
9 hit
or
points.
9 HP. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucian, what are you gonna do?
I'll cast this on.
Jesus Christ. Okay. For 9.
Yep.
Con save. All right, and this is this guy. So. Oh. I didn't think it would
Roll
make
20.
it.
Fuck you, roll 20.
1d6 cold damage. On a fail, but on a success, it's fine, right? Yeah, because that one's a
Yeah.
cantrip. All right. Somehow this fucking brute just doesn't even bother. Like, it doesn't affect him. All right, Ta, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna stab the dude.
With the spear?
Stab. Yeah. Spear.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have the
Okay.
sword.
I mean, you can reach out and grab it, but
That's fine. I'm just I'm like looking like as the way I'm imagining.
you're
like,
salivating
he came-
over it.
No. Like he came through the portal, and I'm like, you still see this guy, right? And then like to stab as I'm still looking. At dice.
Okay. All right. That will hit. Doesn't
Roll for crit.
quite kill. Yeah, I
No,
mean, you may as
I'll
well.
hit it again.
Oh,
That would have been great. But no, you managed to stab into him, sort of shattering his the previously damaged left arm. But he's still barely standing.
There we go.
Okay, not standing anymore. You managed
Wait,
to
you have
just
advantage.
sort of bring the spear shaft down and bop him on the head, and he just sort of falls into a pile of
Todd, you have
bones.
advantage. I'm on the other side.
We
doesn't
changed the
matter.
rules
Oh,
of
it's
that where it
+2.
was like +2 to hit.
It's
Yeah.
+2.
All right,
yeah.
all right,
So it doesn't really matter anyway. So then, like after he falls, I'm like, there. Now we're done. So then I'll grab the sword.
Okay. Okay. So you grab onto the sword. Yeah. At this point,
this should be interesting.
we are out of initiative order. But looking at it, you do notice that what you saw before, maybe your eyes were playing tricks on you. You're not sure, but there are no longer any runes on the blade.
Oh, damn.
It seems to be a very beautifully and exquisitely built blade. Great sword. It does have a blue, what looks like a blue gem in the crossguard, at the center. And it is not emanating any light like you saw earlier.
I'm gonna hand it to Gad and then say, "Walk with me," and then we're gonna like go back to where the other where the skeleton that had.
Okay.
Back over here.
Mind you, when you pick it up, so this was the other half of it. I just wanted to
Right.
get
Okay.
the physical description out of the way and make
Sure.
sure that I had it right. When you pick it up, you feel something sort of stir within it.
Ooh,
And you see
okay.
the gem itself sort of almost reflect the light differently for a moment. If you've ever been underwater and looked up, it's sort of like that's what it sort of looked like. You can almost see the
Okay.
waves going across it. And you get the feeling that there is something watching you or listening more correctly. Almost like you're in a room talking with someone and they're just waiting for you to say something.
Oh.
Why do
Okay.
you all insist on just randomly grabbing magical items without studying them properly
Hey,
first?
man, I
I've
gave
been
it to you
doing
when we
this
walked over here. So I want you to identify it while we're walking over, and then I was going to try
Okay.
something because I didn't understand at the
I just to
first.
clarify, nothing bad has ever happened to me personally from anybody grabbing a random item.
Yeah.
If Gad could sigh, he would totally do it right now.
Oh, Nix wants to go walk over and see if that spell book can be salvaged from that guy earlier.
Make me an investigation check to see if you can find any papers that were not immolated.
I can't use inspiration for this, right?
You can. It's within 10 minutes.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
Yo.
Here's hoping. Okay, total of 10. You do find a fragment of paper that appears to have
Wait, inspiration only grants you a D10?
Oh yeah. So
Oh,
1d10.
I'm sorry, I did it wrong.
Yeah. Add 1d10. I thought that it was you rolled a 4 on it, but yeah, just roll a d10. Okay, an 8. You find a fragment of paper. On it, there appears to be some spell stuff written down, but it seems incomplete, unfortunately. You're not sure what spell it even was exactly, although you get the idea that it was probably some kind of divination spell, but you don't know what.
I guess she'll offer the paper to Lucian and see if he would be interested in it.
Can't do much of it just this. Thank you.
Yeah. Might be a fun game or puzzle to figure out when you're bored.
Fair enough. Name that Pokemon. I mean, spell. Yeah, spell.
Pikachu!
All right. So, meanwhile, with the sword.
Just gonna ritual cast identify, so it's gonna take 10 minutes. Just kind of look at Todd's.
Okay.
It's gonna take a little bit.
Wait, before you start casting it, I'm just gonna like grab it back from you and touch it to the skeleton's hand and see if anything.
Nothing happens.
Okay, then I'll hand it back to Get. Okay, you can do it now.
Yeah, I haven't moved since you done that. It's just like,
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Okay, so you begin to cast Identify, and as you sort of build up, the arcane magic to use the spell, about partway, maybe about a minute and a half in, you start to sort of reach out to sort of put the magic into the sword to learn about it. As you do that, you too feel that sort of presence, and the gem almost seems to have waves that go across its face, and the magic dissipates. And for a moment, you're wondering what the fuck just happened, and then you hear a voice. If you wish to know about me, why not ask? Do you go digging through someone's cupboards to learn about them while they're standing right there? Are you so impetuous, so impertinent, to pull a wizard's spellbook from their hands and read through it in front of them?
That's just in his head, right? It's not like
That's just in his head, yeah.
Okay.
However, when that happens, the rest of you see a very faint blue glow around the blade.
Ooh,
As
you figured it out.
You made it work. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he broke, guys.
I think Gad's dead.
I will see no motion from him. Did you actually sigh? See no motion from him. I'm gonna like wave my hand in front of his
I'm just
face.
gonna drop
and
my
it's-
shoulders.
Oh, he's wait. Did he power down? Crap.
No, just
Clap on, clap off.
Just wait.
Oh, he's alive.
There
Okay.
is a certain
Alright, he's alive,
process
guys.
to identifying things without getting anybody cursed or killed via magical effects.
If you can't do it, then I could figure it out probably.
It's gonna take me 10 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
Hasn't it already been 10
didn't
minutes?
Use anybody
No,
beforehand to
it's
like
been about 2.5.
Oh, okay.
It was more as he reached out with the magic.
Alright.
It dissipated then, and that's when he was then cursed at, basically, or talked at. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? You hear in your head, Gad.
Excuse me?
Were you not listening to the?
Oh no, I'm just I just want to know what this is. Who are you?
Is Gad talking out loud?
I don't know. It's up to him.
Yes.
What? I'm oh god. Guys, I took his memory. I'm Ta. We've been together a while. I am Ta.
No, not
Speaking
you.
like a fucking-
There's something.
I am Lord Lumlindale, your queen.
Why are you guys attracting so many sentient weapons? This thing is talking to me.
Oh, okay.
It's friendly.
Sentient weapon?
Hold on. Just
Please
hold. I'm holding up a hand, so you just wait.
What's his
Yeah,
name?
it goes to the old music. The elevator music starts playing. Oh, that'd be great.
What's its name? How old is it? Its creator.
Later. I'll ask the sword in my mind this time. Who are you and what is this?
I had a name. I don't. They call me the Song of Temer.
The Song of Temer. How do I spell that?
Temmer.
I'm like
One
standing
second.
on the edge, just like
Yo.
hands covering my mouth, shouting at everybody, "It's called the Song of Tem."
Yeah, but you can't hear this.
Well, no, when he said it out loud.
No,
like,
no,
you
no.
repeated it, right?
I'm
No, he's saying this in
mentally
his head now.
speaking now.
Oh, you. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. You took the fun away.
You lame.
I once had a different name. I cannot remember it. But at least you have the propriety to ask a question this time instead of trying to dig through me. Shows some ability to change.
It's not every day you come into contact with the item with sentience, to be fair.
It's every day for me.
Huh. Would you happen to know another sentient name by the name of Sylvain?
No, sorry, I can't help you.
That's a shame. I thought with your supposed age you would have much wisdom and knowledge.
I have
Wow,
knowledge
You're good at making friends.
of certain things. Perhaps just not that thing. Do you know of the great dragon that once ruled the north? The true dragon that ruled the north? And do you know of his story and how I killed it?
You speak of Koenig.
No. Koenig is young. This was an ancient.
What I know?
Make me a history check.
Guys, the sword is Mushu.
I am your protector!
Uh-huh. Well, you know. You don't know the name, but you've certainly heard of an ancient white dragon that lived there. True ancient. long time ago, probably 500 or 600 years ago.
I've not been so thorough in my history, but texts do mention something like that. A couple centuries past.
Regardless, why do you pick me up? Unless we are to do battle together, I see no purpose.
Well, because this idiot, and I kind of motion towards Ta, and I'm still speaking in my mind, wants to use you to kill a great many things, but I want to make sure that it wasn't a cursed item or anything with ill
Then
effects.
we must kill together. Why do I speak to you? He seems to be the one that's driven. I'm happy to relive and sing the Song of Temur once again.
I like this guy.
Well, before he does, I just want to know the history behind this blade.
I was once wielded by Temur himself, and we slew many a thing. And now I grant my power to new and better, hopefully, someday, heroes.
Well,
All I
yes,
ask is that you find me my home again.
that wouldn't
And when he
happen to
says
be
the
in the
word-
Feywild.
I do not know. And you get the feeling when he says home, you almost feel this, and it's echoed in you, this homesickness. For you, it's for Thunderforge, but you understand that this is a being, an entity, a sentience that has been away from home for a very, very, very long time and wishes to rest, but also seems to remember being in these great battles and relives them, and looks for someone to bring to show him that kind of glory into. Yeah, that's kind of what you get. That seems to be the emotion coming off of him or it.
Very well. Song of Temur. Meet your new wielder, Ta. And I hand the blade over to Ta, hilt first.
Yay! I grab it.
It's called the Song of Temur.
Song of Temur. Tell me, Song of Temur, how do you feel about orc?
That depends.
Oh god, it does talk. Okay, sweet.
They cut so very nicely. Regardless, my oldest master once fought orcs, and we danced between the corpses for what seemed like days.
Song of Temur, you and I are going to get along just fine.
Okay.
I don't know if that's said, but it's becoming more accurate by the second.
So, um,
Also, I am speaking out loud.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
you see in your head visions of you wielding it in your armor, dancing between the bodies of thousands of orcs, each one falling to your blade in a single strike. You see, almost overlaid over it, a somewhat thin and wiry human doing the same, and you following it, or it following. It seems in perfect concert as each of you make the same strikes. You get the feeling in your head that this was his original master, the man he calls Temur. During that, you can actually hear the song. It's this sort of beautiful, almost string orchestral piece that plays with each blow. It builds towards a crescendo. The vision fades from your mind, and you hear the voice once more. So, shall we dance the song?
Do you actually make music? Or is it like a metaphorical sort of thing?
The Song of Temur echoes in my swings, but only the wielder can hear it.
Okay, that's fine. All
So,
right. Well, there's probably more skeletons along the way, so we'll start.
okay. So he for the last thing he says to you, I would like to learn more about you before I accept you as my wielder. Perhaps we can sit and talk for a bit.
Sure. Hey, everybody. Do you guys want to take a short?
You can talk with the magic sword on the way to the city.
It would
Indeed.
require a short rest. I
Yeah,
won't
that's
lie.
yeah. That's what I was getting.
And Nyx might need it too.
Yeah,
We
that's
should probably do that
Just take-
somewhere safe and not in
Did
the
manage
open.
to take 40 points of
What are you talking
force
about? We-
damage to the face.
yeah.
In that case, you folk get your rest in. I'm going to scout the area and make sure nothing bad comes up against us.
Sure.
And let's hope that
Okay.
we can get moving before it gets too
Okay.
late.
So,
I
who's
will-
in that case? Let's split this more easily. Who's going to go scouting up ahead? I assume that's Dice and anyone else going.
No.
Okay, everybody else.
Oh yeah,
is...
sure. No, yeah, I'll totally show up there and just get fucking touched with a twig and just die. Yeah, I would love that.
Everybody else is taking a short rest. That'll give you the opportunity to use some hit dice.
I'm going to
You're fine.
examine Nyx's wounds if she'll let me,
Okay.
and cast Cure Wounds at 4th level. Wow, those are the
You're
rolls I'm
taking a
talking
short
about.
rest?
Class standard, good, great, awesome,
Okay.
amazing.
All right. So, I will say for the rest of you, you can take a short rest. Ta, after speaking, you understand that the deal with the sword is to find his home. You have to find his home, wherever that is.
So I can't ask him where his home is.
He doesn't. You understand by the end of sort of the short rest, he doesn't remember. It's been hundreds and hundreds of years, but he does remember that he was once powerful, that he was the spirit of something, and it broke around a mountain who protected him as well and gave him life. He was under peril hundreds of years ago, and Tamir brought him out and put him in the sword for safekeeping. And in thanks, he gave Tamir his power, gave the sword its power, and the two of them went on. But Tamir never was able to return him to his home.
All right, sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't usually use great swords, so that's actually okay. This is, you can see, right? Like usually I carry a spear here, and that's my
Do
typical.
you wave your hand in front of the blade?
Yeah.
Well, no, just like hold up my spear in my other hand as I'm like holding up the great sword in the other, and be like, yeah, like here's my spear, and like that's not usually. And then I put it back. So there may be times where I stash you for tactical reasons, but that I think we could make some interesting things happen.
All right.
Also, you have a roommate. Okay, well, let's get moving.
So, Ta,
Yep.
this is going in your journal. Go ahead and check the top where it says items. Meanwhile, Dice, I will pick up with you in just a second, and that's where
Okay.
we'll end. But I need a drink really quickly, and
that's
then we'll
cool.
go from there.
Goo. Okay. Oh my god.
Imagine if you picked it up without it wanting you to use it.
I mean, I'm a pretty alright guy. I just do some shady stuff.
Oh man, that is so. That's only very partially true in a small minority, maybe.
What are you talking about?
There's a
All
sliver
of-
of a
all of-
possibility.
All of the terrible things that I do are usually for a greater good.
Either that or you're just covering for Nick.
Whatever
One
you
of
need to sleep at night. It's all good. Tell yourself whatever you need to.
Oh shit!
Speaking of, Nick hasn't really stolen anything in a while.
Oh, this is awesome. If I could, which I know I can't, and I'm not even going to try to do it, but if I could wield my shield at the same time as a greatsword, my AC would be 20.
Well, you're pretty fucking strong.
I am, but you can't do a greatsword with one hand. There's no way.
Not anymore.
Maybe a disadvantage, but I don't know. I wouldn't try
Third
that anyway.
edition had a feat called Monkey Grip
Oh, really?
that would allow you to wield a two-handed sword one-handed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, imagine dual wielding great swords.
Oh my god. Dude, this is badass.
In other news, Nekonama animated the Pikachu GIF and Pikachu image.
All right. So
Who? Who did what now? Where?
Nekonama. Do you not know? Okay. Basically, they make fun internet Pokemon comics, and they did a drawing of the memes going around.
Oh.
In case anybody cared.
So dice.
Yes.
Quick stealth, quick perception.
Aye, aye. I am Sneak. I am
You are
Perceive.
sneak. You are perceive. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So as you come around the corner, you find sort of the path leads down sharply in this sort of dried up river here. And this is what you see. You see the city of Imistral laid out much like it was, most of the buildings destroyed. And I'll let you guys write your notes on this because I figure that's what you want to do anyway. Here at the Noble Docks, you see two large, barely held together ships. Looks like they shouldn't be floating. With something large strapped between the two of them, making port over one to roll up on either side of the docks. Down here, you see what looks like a large contingent of skeletons and the like marching in a actually marching, not wandering like you've seen many of the other skeletons. The whole city seems to be filled with wandering skeletons, but those ones seem to be in a formation.
And where is this small army parked again?
Seem to be here in this
Okay.
area. Over here you can see what look like two large, almost oxen, but twisted, made of bone. No, not much in the way of flesh on them. Being led through the city towards the docks. With a 27, you can see that there seems to be a single humanoid figure sort of stepping out in front of them. Leading them in that general direction with several other skeletons and the like sort of around them. An area here at 5 has been cleared out. And a large stone pedestal has been placed in place of this building. There is also several holes in the ground in various places strewn all over the place. And around most of them, there are several hordes, I guess you could say, of undead. With a 27, let me see. That's at a. I didn't actually roll this earlier. I should have, but I will now. That's the important part. Go here. I will make. Okay. You just see it. Here, moving to the southward, a large humanoid figure with long, thin claws extending from where the nails should be on hands.
When you say
Slowly
large,
moving.
and when you say here,
Okay. Here near the Colosseum. Sort of on the outside, moving towards the center of the city.
okay, so north.
Southward, yeah. This is in the north. Moving southward across the city towards the southern part. Like I said, large as in size class, about large.
Okay,
As far as you can tell. Probably standing 15 feet tall. You can see its head peeking up over the buildings, but it is slowly moving across through the roads to the south, while the others are coming to the north to the docks.
okay.
The two large beasts. Again, there are plenty of undead and the like. You can also see near to the large skeleton thing, I guess, a familiar red orb glinting in what little light there is that peeks through the darkened clouds. A single one at the moment. But as you look, just barely, you can see over here another red glint.
Over where? You could jump
At the foreign where near the army, sort of marching, another red glint.
Okay.
Here at the south. The rest of the city seems mostly destroyed, but there are several intact buildings and skeletons and the like sort of filtering in and out. Various undead types, including you can see a couple of shadowy figures similar to the Alep that you fought earlier.
Okay.
But with that, you turn around and rejoin the group to relay what information you found, if you so choose.
Yes, I'll go through that whole thing. I'll mention that it looks like there's a central river running through underneath the main keep and goes straight to the docks where they seem to be having some sort of get together. I'd imagine that they're likely planning to move out from this location, which means that there's likely something of a headquarters here, which, if I were to guess, they were probably sitting in the nobility quarter. It's a nice vantage point from the city, and I'd imagine whoever is controlling this sort of thing enjoys luxury. Now, the waterfall is something that I'm interested in. If we could perhaps increase the flow, maybe flood what remains of the city, that would definitely throw a wrench in their plans and maybe even cause trouble for their ships. Failing that, we could put a hole in the bottom of them fairly sneakily, and that would as well make things quite difficult. I'd imagine they're trying to transport something or other. There was a rather interesting looking human with two oxen creatures. Would I happen to know what those might be?
I don't know if you've ever seen one before. But actually, and I just found my list for what you get when you roll certain things. And I missed one.
Huh.
Between the ships, they are carrying something between them, and it doesn't look like they should be able to, but you would see it as what looks like a long, relatively thin, sort of laid on its side obelisk.
All right, yeah, so I mentioned that, but either way, the ships seem to be carrying some sort of obelisk. If I were to guess, it's a source of power that they plan to plant on the island that our last headquarters, or the place with the portal, I forget the name. Haven't been here in a while, so it seems, but still, seems that they're trying to move their base somewhere, which means top priority is definitely to sink those ships, which shouldn't be too hard. The only hard part would be getting out after the fact.
Did you see any markings on it?
Too far away to actually make out any markings.
It's too far away to see anything concrete, but It looked somewhat similar. Did it look anything similar to the obelisk that was at the other town that we passed through?
Yeah, but a lot bigger. The last one seemed to be maybe 40 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
This is on the order of 120 or so feet high. Much
It
bigger.
was similar in order to the thing we saw at the last town, but about 3 magnitudes higher.
Okay, that's pretty big.
Yes. Again, I am enjoying the flood plan. If that goes well. Perhaps the sooner we get there, the better. As if we can find a way to sneak past the roaming armies, we're still going to have to deal with the 2 oxen and the strange man as well. I noticed the red orb, the eye thing that we encountered earlier at the village was present. One of them was following a large clawed beast, seemingly skeletal. That may be something
Oh
else
yeah, that
entirely.
one seemed almost human. Just the claws seemed very
Yeah.
inhuman.
A large clawed beast, and one was following a patrolling army of how many would I guess? Maybe 2 dozen, 3 dozen skeletons.
Probably closer to 4 dozen.
Alright.
Probably about 50 or so, maybe more.
And 4 dozen skeletons, maybe more, probably more.
Yeah, I don't think we should let them continue what they're doing.
No, I'm liking to agree. Well, as I mentioned, it shouldn't be any problem for me, at least, to make my way through. But the rest of you, well,
What do you mean? Clink, clink.
I could turn you into something of a. I could give you the skin of a skeleton, but it wouldn't do much to hide the noise. And making you invisible is, well, it's not going to help much.
If only we still had those boots of Elvenkind.
I
there's
don't think it would work
there's
too
something
well.
a little different now. After that crazy fucking episode. All right.
All right, are you all good and
I
rested
say,
then?
I say we attack them, distract them long enough for you to do your thing and make a daring escape before we die from the flood.
Oh, you need a distraction?
Yeah.
I can help with that.
So what I'm hearing is we have 2 teams. Well, perhaps 3 then. One team goes up to the north and it starts a flood down to the city, hopefully getting rid of most of their patrols. The second team goes to the docks and takes care of the ship and the obelisk.
You would be able to tell that this is a free-flowing river.
Mm-hmm.
Increasing the water amount, if y'all can do it, awesome. But I don't know how to do that necessarily. That's something you'll have to come up with. But there's no dam slowing the river down or anything like that.
Okay, so
This is a
question
free
then,
flow.
is the castle just kind of sitting on top of the water?
It's built on large pillars, and it sits well above the waterfall falls behind it, and then it flows out underneath it. It's almost like a shelf over the top of
In
where the
that
water
case,
falls.
who's good at destroying pillars?
I raise my hand.
Yeah.
Well, I
Oh,
raise
then
my
you're
hand
on
with the
team one.
warhammer in it.
You're on team 1 then. But I think we have a
There-
plan then.
There aren't
Destroy the
still
main
people
capital.
living here, though, right?
I wouldn't think so.
I
Did you
mean,
check?
otherwise we're flooding an entire city of innocent people.
They're more likely to be useful as corpses, anyways. I don't see any reason why
I
they
do
would be
not
kept
endorse
alive,
this
but
idea before checking whether or not any living innocents are still in the city.
I didn't see anyone when I was up there. I
That's
didn't see anyone when I was
because
up there, right?
Up there.
Well, I was scouting around the mountains in the city, seeing what I could see. But yeah, I didn't see any, like, any living creatures in the city, did I? Raven?
Any what?
any living creatures like people?
As far as you could tell, the humanoid moving the or guiding the two large sort of undead oxen seemed to be alive. Seemed to be living, or at least seemed to have most of his flesh on his bones.
And is that it?
That's all you could see at the time. Yeah.
I mean,
As
they
the only
might
person I
be
could
in their
see seemed to be the
houses.
ringleader of sorts. If they're hiding out in the city, then the best we can do then is give them a possible escape. But
Right. Instead of flooding them and drowning them.
there's not going to be much reason for them to make an escape unless we cause a distraction, and well, that seems to be the best distraction we can get. Unless you're capable of causing a landslide, I don't think there's any way we can.
I feel like that have the same problems.
Yes.
Maybe worse. I just want to be
Well-
sure that everybody in this town is either dead, gone, or evil.
Not dead.
Before we, we're not dead before we do anything drastic like flood the whole place.
Well, we can start off with the boats, and that'll draw enough attention that we can sneak on up to the castle. At which point, what's the saying? Like what is the fantasy version of London in this universe? Because I was going to say London Bridges, but that doesn't make sense. Anyways,
Yeah. Right.
Still,
I mean, this is pretty close to London, honestly, but not quite. Obviously.
well, what would the colloquial like? What has the same feeling?
Amosville
I guess?
Bridge is no, it'd probably be like Praven has a lot of bridges.
Yeah,
It'd
Praven
probably
Bridges.
be
Then.
Praven.
But yeah, I guess then conveniently that means you don't have to split the party. So we sneak on down to the docks, break the ships, and while they're distracted with the ships, sneak on up, cause a waterfall while the people are getting out. If we see any people in here, anyways. But I'm fairly convinced that this place is just a walking corpse at this point. There's nobody alive here, but
I just want to be sure of that first.
I understand.
So if any sneaky types could check some houses, that could be good.
Okay.
I'll do what I can.
Or
So-
quieter, not necessarily sneaky.
So, for the purposes of this, you guys deliberate over your plans for a little while. And we're going to end here. Let you guys talk out your plans or whatever. I'm happy to hang out, but I think this is about as far as we're going to get because it's already 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Happy to hang
We're-
out and DM or whatever, but
We're coming in from the
but I
north,
don't
right?
think we're going to keep going. You guys are actually coming in. You guys will be able to come in from right about here. I don't have a path laid out, but I'll do
Oh,
that really
okay.
quickly.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, that was the water, the riverbed.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool.
It seems to come in for the purposes of this.
By the way, I
It
put
kinda
what I
came
wrote
in
down
right
on the
there.
numbers.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And so, but it's obviously dried up or whatever. But that's kind of roughly where it comes in.
Sure.
All right, so feel free to talk out plans or whatever. I'm going to leave this map up for you guys. Feel free to mark on it whatever you want to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed the session. I just don't want to I just don't want to dig into something big all of a sudden. And
I get you.
just because it's 4 o'clock already. So
Yeah, I need to do tests with this weapon too, see if I got it set up right.
we can definitely talk about that. There's some weird eccentricities there for sure.
Well, I'm just trying to get it like where it'll roll correctly.
Yeah. I'll show you how to do that. But yeah. So,
Can you copy over the stats of the Razor's Edge to me when you got a chance?
yeah, I'll dig that. I think it's just it's a battle axe. But on crit, it can cleave into a second target.
Nice.
Within 5 feet of you, obviously.
That's a dex-based thing, though, right?
No, it's a. Wait, no. For him, it was a dex space. We.
Oh,
sort of-
good. I was gonna
we
say
re-
you're
we
never able to
reskinned
use
it.
any weapon. Okay.
Yeah, we reskinned some stuff to make it work. But yeah.
I got an idea for this anyway, so cool deal. Thank you.
Okay. No worries. But yeah, I hope
think-
this was a fun one, but I don't know.
I think anybody
Oh.
would be able to use the sword. Because like you get proficiency with it. I guess maybe not like use it to its full effect.
No,
but,
it's
like
literally anyone can use it.
yeah. I mean, it's still strength
What?
based, but like anyone can be proficient with this.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Bramnick have a belt as well?
I think I don't remember. I don't see it on his thing.
Oh, okay. Maybe
I
was
have his character sheet specifically because I knew I was gonna have to deal with him.
Yep.
Oh, just the strength too, dude. Guys,
Let
this
me
is
double check.
awesome.
Yeah, it fucking is.
This is fucking awesome.
Did you notice the first thing that's written down there?
I mean, I've read the whole thing, but yeah.
It's item class, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I see
Of
it.
course, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, still. So yeah, literally any of you guys could use this. I'm just saying.
Neat.
All right. So what I have down is the Razor's Edge, Poisoner's Kit, Dagger, Amulet, Ruined Herbalism Kit, Melee, and that's it.
Right. Let's see here. 2 potions of healing.
Yeah, I got those in.
Okay, just making sure. And then the amulet is called the Talon Amulet. Sorry, I forgot to
Oh,
look
right.
there. That was
I
his
remember
for when you're polymorphed or wild shaped, it adds you go up 1 dice class on your attacks.
Yeah, we'll be able to use that.
Well, if you use polymorph. Or you could sell it, whatever. And I think that's about all he's got really that wouldn't have been destroyed. I'm just double checking really quickly. Yeah, that's from the armor that's been ripped apart. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just to reiterate, stuff for the city is in the non-airship notes. So that's what I have to show.
Oh, I forgot. There is one other thing you would have found.
Oh, okay.
My bad. This would have been next.
Oh.
Because he doesn't have any of his shit in the right places. Fuck.
Who does what now?
Okay. Yep. So.
Oh, right. Can I get the card for Sylvain?
Yeah, I have to rewrite it up. I will get it to you in just a little bit.
Donka.
Wait, you're taking Sylvain?
I have Sylvain right now. Nobody knows except for
I
maybe
think
Nyx.
Well,
Except for
it's
Nyx.
on your belt. It's really fucking obvious. It's there. It's big.
Nobody knows that I have this great sword.
I mean, nobody's bothered
Okay.
to ask. Apparently, nobody really noticed.
I mean, I don't really care. I have another whip I could use if I needed to.
Okay, so next you would also find 1
Okay.
Rocky Talkie,
Oh, sweet.
which gives you your 4. The Ring of Eavesdropping. 3 Griffin Talons. Let's see here.
All right. What was the second one?
That would be the Ring of Eavesdropping.
Okay.
3 Griffin Talons.
Yeah.
The note I think you wrote for the Gypsy Camp in Luthadel,
Okay.
which
Oh,
still hasn't quite made it there. Let's see. An elephant statue, but I think you already had that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure I have everything here. Do you still have your Rod of the Pack Keeper?
I don't believe so. No.
So that you would have actually, you probably wouldn't have found that. I know where that went.
Okay.
And then a small glass orb.
Oh, for the scry stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's everything. Sorry, I thought
No
I had
worries.
everything, but God, he has the most fucked up way of like writing shit down. Oh my God.
That's my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And
Right on.
like 3 ice rock feathers at this point. The rest of them have kind of been destroyed. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Sweet.
So that brings you up to speed. Sorry. Yeah, I had everything else, but apparently he fucking wrote all that shit in his notes, not in the item thing where it's supposed to be. It wasn't even in the right set of notes where I looked. Oh well. Anyway. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Regardless, it's going to be an interesting session next week.
Only one of us kind of almost died. And it wasn't me
you.
again.
However, you did get some kind of bad news on that front.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Oh,
put
is it? Is it in the weapon thing? Is it just the little crit area, like where it says crit, and then it goes to that 1d6? Do I just put in how many dice it would be? And
Yeah, you
like,
can do that.
Yep.
okay, I didn't want to like overdo it where it's adding more than I'm supposed to get. But
Well, you
Yeah.
can just test it right now, see if it works.
yeah, I was gonna, but I mean, I'm just gonna have to go to like crit.
Yeah.
But I have to change its crit value.
Anyways, hey, for everybody who's watching on YouTube or live streaming on Twitch, yes, thanks for sticking around for so long. We'll see you next week. Bye.